Hello, 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 everybody. How are we doing today? Good?
Scott made us late, chat. It was all Scott's fault.
Well, it's funny because, like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I could show up in my office and either they're still waiting for me or
Wait,
sorry,
all
they're
I
waiting
hear
for
is
me or I'm still waiting for one of them. So, but yeah, no, I had to go empty the cat box real quick. I've been busy all week.
your defense.
So
We
like,
always are waiting for Rena to poop at the beginning of this. At the beginning of the show. See, look at now. I'm being mean to Rena. This doesn't happen normally.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm sassy.
What did I do? Okay,
I woke up and chose chaotic evil.
fine, I guess.
Mortifer's not here today.
We got to talk
can
about
be.
somebody more important than Mortifer. Chat, we have to have a conversation about somebody
I
much
thought
more
you said
important than
Chad.
Mortifer. No, Chad, chat.
Well, the
Someone
man
more.
behind Mortifer is pretty important. Hey guys, I'm Wade. Nice to see y'all.
We have to talk about
We
somebody
are
much more
graced
important
by
than
Wade's
Wade as
presence
well.
today.
We have to talk about Grommen. We have to talk about
I love
Otto.
ramen.
We have to talk about Thunk. And we have to talk about Rye. Because a year ago
Did you say
this
Otto?
Wednesday. No.
Oh.
Otto.
Otto.
Or at midnight makes a year or 5 years ago this Wednesday, or 5 years ago by dates tomorrow is the anniversary. This is 5-year woot. So just saying
Congrats.
it's awesome. I'm pretty excited to say that. I really wish Midori was still around. I really want I want to be like
Cast. You're the only one that's still here. So what's that say about you?
quitters. You're all quitters.
Yeah.
Uh
Don't worry, chat. My contract ends very soon. I'll be out of here too.
I want to throw like a bucket
You
of
have a
money
contract?
at Midori to make a
I'm
bunch of
what?
little
I'm
plushy
paying to
things.
be here.
Blackmail contract.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I pay hourly to be on the show.
Yeah.
I don't get to play.
I don't even pay Scott. I pay Wade to play hourly here.
Actually,
When?
Messy.
I'm waiting for all you all claim to pay me. My accounts say otherwise.
Am I
guys,
behind
don't
on
worry.
rent? Oops.
Don't worry. Your payment's coming. Give me 1 second. There we go.
I swear to God.
I really hope you accidentally show
Why
off
he's
like
taking a
your
picture
bank
of his
card right
foot?
now.
He's taking a picture of his foot. You can see the camera.
Yeah.
I hope he accidentally shows off his bank info or something.
Scott,
You
don't
know?
post feet in the
That-
Discord.
That's the gross foot.
Don't post. What? Why do you have a gross foot?
I swear to God, if you send us like 60-man-year-old
There is a foot.
pictures.
Why do you have a gross foot?
It's the one that had lots
Why
of
is your
fungus.
foot so small? Why do you have hobbit feet?
What's wrong with your big toe?
I spread my toes.
I'm
out.
not gonna look. I'm not gonna look.
You don't want to. It's horrible.
It's sad. It's just
You got
disappointing.
tiny
really.
feet. You can't.
It
you
looks
no
like half
longer-
of his
I have a
jaundice,
6E.
too.
My shoe size is 6E. It is.
Your
This
shoe
is the
size
E
is so
for
tiny
you.
that you
Yeah,
have letters.
It's 11 and
next
a
to them?
half 6E. Here you go.
The E stands for.
Why does
brother.
half your foot look jaundice? And what's with the red? Never mind.
You
He's
guys
got like
got-
a cat in a
you
hat
can have the
stripe
whole
thing
pair. You
going
can have
on.
the pair. There you are.
Got a little bit confused. What happened to all your toenails? They're all missing.
Yeah, that's fungus. that's 15 years of restaurant, baby. Enjoy it.
You have such tiny feet. I have lost faith that
I
you are as
have-
tall as you actually are.
My foot's 11 and a half 6E.
Yeah, I'm starting to think he's 5'2". I don't even think he's 5'4".
You're
Messy,
too tall.
we've
Look
met.
at my
I am
chin.
actually taller than you. We have been physically adjacent to one
I don't
another.
think that ever happened.
We have been
I
inside
can't
one
Tell
another,
which one of
Messy.
you is
You
taller, in all
know
honesty.
how big I
Well,
am.
that part did happen. Yeah, that did happen.
Well, before the rest of my hair turns gray from the disgust that I'm experiencing, can we go to Dathomir and finish this shit?
Hey, it's okay. We won't notice.
Yes, you will. Look, my
What?
chin is even gray now. It's all gone. In 2 weeks, I've gone from handsome to grandpa. Well,
Wah,
handsome.
wah, wah, wah.
Reno, it's safe
More.
free now. I deleted the
Rooster's
pictures.
still dark through here. At least I've got this.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate you.
You're welcome, of course. I got you.
I'm glad that that image is still going to be burned.
Just trying
in
to
my
eat
mind.
dinner.
No,
I saw you taking it and
I-
could see like your little foot like in your camera on your
Little
phone,
foot.
which was funny.
A
But,
little foot. Hey, Rena, can we get an animated Littlefoot for Scott?
How many appendages do I need to animate for this man?
No, it just needs
Let's
to be really
still
tiny.
no more,
No,
please,
hold on.
because there's not many
Hold on, I
left
can
that we want
answer
to go.
That's a rhetorical question. Please
Stinky
don't
Pinky,
respond.
Littlefoot. I don't want to know what's next.
I don't need to know. It's not me.
Oh,
You couldn't pay me
Big
enough.
chin.
I don't have my notes right now, so you're gonna have
I
to
would
do the
like
recap,
Bato
bro.
to die anytime this episode.
Don't you keep your notes on your phone?
On my iPad, dog.
here-
That's
all right,
like
here's-
a whole thing.
I
that
got
I
it.
do.
I got the
All right, go ahead,
recap.
Will. Wade. Sorry. Wow.
Is
we
it 'cause
were
they're-
just.
Is it because they're both
Shut up.
Is it because both
Well,
Will and Wade
Messy.
happen to be?
Where there's a Will, there's a Wade.
Is that the word?
Mhm,
Okay,
yeah,
well,
keep going.
Interesting. So are they all the same to you, Rena?
Thank
Is
you,
that-
Renee, for that. We'll move on now.
I dated a Renee.
Great. Small
Oh.
world. Well,
Great.
Will's not here today, unfortunately. You guys have me. I guess I'll do the recap in Will's place. I'm sure Will had a great recap planned. But what I remember
I have a big
being
chin
the
trip.
fuck up that I am,
Uh-oh.
You guys do look alike.
pride's on drugs. Ladies like, don't like that. They're still out in space doing who knows. No, they finally made it down to the planet and they were like, hey, Bono. Bono's like, yo, Varen's out doing weird shit. And they're like, oh, okay. And they were coming down to land. I don't think they landed yet. Can't remember. Maybe they did. Varen force pushed a big dude. Failed to do a ritual.
Right. You fucked up a huge guy.
Yeah. He was like 80,000 of Scott's feet tall.
Wow.
And met some Night Sisters who were like, we know Revan. You want some info? Go cut something off of a fish. And so Varen's about to go fish diving with his lightsaber, which is very beat up after getting hit by the big man. And that's where we currently are. Bato's on the ship. Messi and Rena are trying to, Lady and Pride are trying, or Gil are trying to land their ship.
Wait,
but
you think
Gil's
you're
on
bringing your
spice and
lightsaber?
everything not nice.
You bring the knife that they gave you, not your lightsaber.
Yeah, the ritual. I've got a ritual knife too. Yeah, that's right.
That you don't bring you bring that.
I imagine that I would have the lightsaber
Wait,
on me. You don't
I'm
like
gonna
just leave your
say-
lightsaber.
You're going
dude.
naked. Where are you gonna keep the lightsaber?
I'm
Between
gonna
your
say
cheeks?
you bring whatever you like. Don't let Scott bring you down.
I
bring
guess
whatever you
Varen's
want.
going nude into the water for some reason. I
So
don't know why that's
you
a
bite
thing.
the knife, so you have both your hands for swimming, and then you suppository the
It's
the
gonna be
lightsaber
really
just in
hard
case
with his
you-
helmet
yeah.
on.
You know, Qui-Gon got a nice little breather mask and his robes and all this, but I got to go naked. This is what a discount late night show budget gets you. All right.
I'm just
Well,
shocked you get paid still.
like I said, that's it. So I guess Varen's going to go naked.
Oh, and apparently
That's your
the doctor's
recap
still
by
alive.
Will, aka Wade.
You forgot about the doctor that we forgot about last week too.
There's a doctor on Messi and Rena's ship that no one's talked to in like months. He
Yeah,
might not even be
weeks.
alive. Hard to say. He apparently has overheard all the drug conversations, just sitting there like tapping his little feet together, like,
Like, well, not my job today.
I have 4 arms, and yet I feel very uncomfortable and nothing to do, so I guess I'm going to use all of them to scratch my head and chin and armpits.
and various other places.
A lot of deodorant when you have 4 arms.
You know what? It's a really good point. Do you like put deodorant like on top of one shoulder so you can get it under the other? Like,
Imagine like trimming your nails.
yeah, that'd take a while.
Imagine having tiny feet.
I don't want to.
And you
Listen,
don't
Balance would
can
be very
I
difficult.
can tell you, I do not have small feet.
balance. Could be,
My mother has always called me Fred Flintstone. Yeah, I wish I had
Goes for
small
your
feet.
Intelligence.
I was-
I would like to stop thinking about your
show
feet.
intelligence.
Anywho, now time to sing Pull and Roll Destiny and do anything besides think about Scott's goddamn
yeah,
feet
we
for
have
another
to do that
second.
every week, huh?
That was a good
wild.
one, Messi.
All right, that's not good.
Thanks, bro.
That was a good one.
Thanks.
Hey,
Lady carrying per usual.
Where's the sync button?
Lady
Oh
Karen.
Jesus!
Do you guys know of a band named Mudvane?
Yep.
Yes.
Check out this cool band shirt I got.
Let's go.
Wow.
It's
Isn't
funny.
it
He asked
cool?
us if we know what Mudvayne is.
I don't know.
Mudvayne's
like
one of the
Mudvayne.
few artists that I've seen live that perform better live than they do on an album.
Mudvayne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
most artists, they sound cleaner on an album because they take like the best takes.
They
and
sound great
yeah.
both
But
ways.
Mudvane's
Yeah.
better.
I love
better
Blink
live.
182, but they were much better on the album.
Blink 182 is
Except for Travis.
absolute trash music.
I
Seeing
got
Travis
super
live was
like
pretty
look at how close.
What about D?
Fuck, I don't know. Hold on, let me. It's gonna zoom in, but I could look at how close I
cool.
was
Wow,
to them.
there's a person there. That's cool.
Is that Lil Nas X?
No, Mudvane. He's in hell, isn't he? Moving on.
He's back now. He's back.
I think
Oh,
he's
okay.
back.
Yeah, Nike let him out.
Cool. Right. So wait, you're descending.
They said it was bad optics.
Well, we don't have to go to Wade first. We can go straight to Rena, who wanted to talk to the doctor.
No, let's go. Let's go fishing.
Yeah, let Wade go first.
No, Rena, why don't you want to go first? You didn't really get to do much last session.
Because I have soup. And I
Good
want to eat
soup.
it.
That's a valid point.
I have soup and I want to eat it.
And I also don't have my notes, so like I would like to grab those
I have
before things happen.
caramels. I also bought a whole new thing of nerd gummies, cluster
It's
gummies.
huge.
Oh my God. Why does everything you buy like a package?
It's
Because I'm
called,
lazy and I never leave my house.
Okay, I'm sorry. Please stop.
Okay?
It's called. It's cheaper by volume.
Okay, Messi. I don't leave my
I'm
house.
sorry. I won't ask again.
Excuse me. I think you
he
actually
told you he was
walked
sassy
to the
today.
doctor recently.
I
So
did,
it
when my
sounds
car
like a
broke. I
lie.
actually did walk to the doctor.
He gets all of his dentist appointments done for a decade in one visit.
I do. Yeah. Look
That's
at
20
this.
cleanings in one visit.
Guess how much this was?
$10,000.
$15.
That's pretty cheap, actually.
It's so close. Damn
That's
it.
so cheap. How much is in there?
A lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
And
It's
how
like a
much is in
movie
each one?
theater. I don't know a lot. I don't know. You think I math, Scott?
Will you eat a
Count
whole
them?
pack in one sitting?
Yes.
Oh.
I shoved them up my asshole.
That's not eating.
Between Pat's asshole and Scott's feet, can I go in the water naked now?
I don't know, Rita. Do you
You-
want to add anything? Messy, you want to throw something out there?
Rena's
Messy's
just like-
nostrils?
Rena's just like good soup.
Wait, if you roll a d20 and you roll higher
That's
than a
what-
2,
it's
I'll let you go
it's
first.
Pat's asshole, Scott's feet, Rena's bangs, and Messy's nostrils. That's what we're working with here.
Does that form the ultimate troll?
Treadmill?
What do I need to roll, Messi, and what's it mean?
Just a d20. If you
There's
roll higher than a 2, I'll
there's
let you
quite
go
a bit
first.
in there, Scott. Is
Well,
it?
higher than a 2.
It's
Yeah.
pretty solid, actually.
Oh,
they're
well, I don't know how to
delicious.
spell roll, so apparently not.
And Wade can attest. These are really good.
Okay. Nice. All right, Wade starts.
All right.
I have a knife in my mouth and I'm naked swimming.
I didn't see Messy roll first for you to roll higher then.
No, I
Just
rolled.
said a 2.
I just
He just
said
gave me a- he
2.
just
I said
gave me
the
a number to
DC of
beat.
2.
No, Messy
Yeah.
has to roll a D100 for, sorry, D20 first. Okay, exclamation point roll, Messy.
Okay.
Yes.
all right,
Scott, if you don't give us 20 XP after wasting another 3 minutes, I'm going to actually come there and cut off your
Hey,
little
what
baby
the
feet.
fuck did you do? How'd you
You
do
said
that?
that you
How'd you
lost
make me
50.
roll a 20, Scott? That's not cool. Let me try again. Yeah, there we go. It's a 13. So Wade wins. That means Wade starts.
I don't care who starts. I just want to play.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. You're playing. You're naked. You have a knife.
Here you go.
I have a
Naked?
story about my younger brother that involves being naked with a knife. But let's go on.
No. I'm curious now.
Yeah, I won't lie.
I'm going to save that for a listen
No.
to Distractive. I'm going to save it for a podcast
fuck
episode.
off. Oh my god.
Can we get a tantalizing little tidbit? Give us the scene, like the
You
location.
can't
come out
say
of
your
Just the
brother was
location.
naked with a knife.
My house growing up.
Okay, and one
Wait,
last
this was-
one
so we
last
had it for a
question. I
while.
promise I won't ask any more. Who was the naked one?
My brother.
Okay,
we knew
that's all
that.
we need. Okay,
He also had the knife.
Yeah, we knew that.
I want to
just
be
like
like
that
my
TikTok.
friends. No,
It's like that TikTok of that kid who's like running by the pool and she's like, "What do you have?" And he's like, "A knife." And she's like, "No."
I know. that was
He's
good.
just running past the pool. That's it.
I don't think I've seen that. I'm glad.
It's like
He's-
a
he's
like a
clothed.
5-year-old kid. He's like
Yeah,
running
and
by
he's
and
got
it's
like a pocket knife. What do you
That's about how old my brother was. He was like
A
between 3 and
knife!
5.
No.
Oh,
I've yet to download TikTok. I
Good.
think the Chinese government's trying to watch my phone.
Please tell us more about that as you add up our experience. That's 25 now. Every time you distract us, every time you go off topic, Scott, I'm adding 5 to our XP pool.
Okay, so just on this topic, You're losing 50 experience points compared to everybody else.
Great.
Pat
I'm already up to
asked for it.
25, so we're negative 25.
Anyways, so yeah, wait. You go down by the lake, which is literally where we left off. Once again, you can kind of feel that presence. You can feel the presence of the dark side, which is where we kind of talked about beforehand. It's very thick here. It's very dense. The feeling that happens to exist here. So you are standing in front of it, and you're stripping down for the ritual that you're going to do. You have the ritualistic knife. You know you're supposed to dive in and go looking for a fish or some sort of sea creature.
And I'm
You're
cutting
supposed
off
to-
what, like a fin or like a what is it? I'm cutting off.
a part of it with it, but you have to leave the thing alive.
Okay.
I mean,
Great.
So describe, obviously not well. Actually, I think this is the first time we've fully seen Varen.
He's been in every episode, Scott.
Is this the first time we've fully seen Varen's body? And I don't mean naked. I just mean like because he's usually covered like almost completely.
Maybe since we've done this session, but like before we've seen Varen's face and everything.
I've never gotten a good
No.
description of you naked, so go ahead, Wade.
Not with naked.
Well,
So we've seen Varen's face before, but I mean like his body. Is there anything noteworthy that you want to point out? Like, does he have like scars or something like that? That
He's
would
a
be
huge
that would
dick.
stand out. Does it? No.
he's pretty. I mean, he's pretty physically fit.
Okay.
He's definitely
Is he a
scarred.
rotund? Yeah.
Growing up in a Sith fighting camp, I mean, there was constant battling, warring, and damage done. So yeah, he's pretty scarred, probably. I imagine. He's about 2 Delricks tall. I think he's about 6'1". I think he has brown hair. I don't have the description for me. It's been a while because he always wears the mask. I think he has like it was shorter brown hair, but I don't know if he's gotten a haircut in a while. And after being cryogenically frozen, he might have like nice little, not quite Adam Driver haircut, but getting there. Probably needs a haircut. And he's human. There
Really?
you go.
Hmm.
What more do you need?
Cool.
He's young. I think he's like early 20s, like 22-ish probably at this point, 23. I think he was 20 or 21 whenever we started the original campaign.
And no other like noteworthy scars or anything like that on his body from like his upbringing or his training or anything like that.
Tons of them. His body's covered in scars. I mean, it's not just like nonstop, but like if you look at him, you will see cuts and scars.
Gotcha. Kind of like looking at a fighter's body, like somebody that's been in boxing or MMA or whatnot for 20 years, whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, completely understand. All right, cool. So you are standing there. Of course, your character disrobes, and I imagine you fold up your clothing and whatnot appropriately and put it to the side because while that is the stuff that you wear daily, it is also ceremonial and important to your character.
Yeah, and I'm going to influence the unconscious Big Zabrak and tell him I want permanent press done while I'm gone. Make sure my clothes are nice and clean whenever I come back. They do laundry on this planet?
At the cost of 50 experience points.
You get dumber. Yeah.
All right.
You get dumber.
Lower my intelligence to get my clothes clean.
So
I
moving
choose
on.
to have the experience deducted from Will's pool instead of mine tonight.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
yeah. I suppose we can make that happen. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. We can make that happen. Yeah. Sure. Rena, can you just message Will for me? Just shoot Will a text. That'd be great. Thanks, Rena.
He only talks to her. He won't talk to the rest of us anymore.
He talks to me.
Oh.
He
Just
talks
me.
to you? I gotta tell him to stop.
I guess where there's a Will, there was a Wade.
Gotta tell him to stop.
So, Wade, you grab the knife. I imagine like how you hold the knife. Do you like hold it in one hand, like reverse blade style? Just hold it like point out in one hand. You biting it with your teeth, blade out because it is a single-edged blade. Or are you going to like how are you carrying the knife? How are you carrying yourself into the water?
I guess it
Obviously, as you
depends. So
wade
as
into
he's
it.
as he wades into the water, he's probably just holding the knife in his hand at
As
first.
he
And I do
he-
want to,
waits.
as he wades, I do want to sense and see if I can sense this creature.
Sure. And do you actually have your suppository saber or no?
No, it'll be with my folded up clothes.
I was gonna say you might want to like hold it in, pass a gas. Ooh. Uh-huh. And that about
It'd be
it.
very bad because it's like, hot and then gas combined with that
Yeah.
explosive.
Good
Explosive.
Explosions. Yeah.
Explosive.
All right. So, anyways, you can go ahead and roll for sense.
All right. And I don't think, just to feel out, I think it's just 1 point. So really it's kind of like an auto succeed thanks to empty soul or iron soul or whichever one it is, but we'll go ahead. Perfectly
Nice.
balanced as Varen should be. So 4 and 4.
Awesome. As a reminder, you're continuing to roll that 4th die as long as you tap into the dark side.
As long as he's on this planet, right?
Yeah.
As long as he's on this planet tapping into the dark side, yes, sir. To specifically lay that out. Anyways, so you are going to go ahead and start wading into there with the knife in your hands, starting to make your way into the water. The water is, it's cool, but not particularly cold or anything like that. And you start making your way in, and just kind of like imagine you literally go to the point where it's maybe about chest deep, and that's where you just take your deep breath, and you have to start diving under. Now, your character only has so much breath that they can hold because he's not he's athletic, as you had said beforehand, but it's not like he's a power diver. It's not like he's somebody who's a trained swimmer or anything like that. One of the things that you could potentially do is try to slow down your metabolic rate while you're down there so you can draw in less oxygen. But unfortunately, there's a sort of training in the force that I don't think you've ever properly received.
Does drowning count as suffocating?
It is a form of suffocation, yes.
Okay, because I did snag the ability meditative trance, so if I do
Oh, you
start
did?
taking damage. Yeah, I did.
Oh, huge.
Oh, okay.
Nice. So you can't actually die?
Well, no, I
Okay.
can. I take, if I start to suffocate, I take 1 strain instead of 3 per round.
Oh, that's super
And if I'm in a
nice.
vacuum, I take 1 wound instead of 3 per round. So I could be out in space for a little while, I guess, just like chilling. Just won't enjoy it.
Is that kind of similar to like what's her face did?
Yes.
Leia.
Leia.
How many rounds can Varen hold his breath? How do you determine that?
Per rank, or is it just?
Well, I don't know. Meditative trance is not. It doesn't tell me how long I hold my breath. It just says when I start to suffocate. But I imagine, like, if a round is 6 seconds, like the average person can hold their breath for what, like 20 seconds, like 3 or 4 rounds.
No, definitely can hold your breath longer than that. Average person can
I
definitely
guess
hold their breath
average
longer
is.
than that.
Average is
okay.
like what, 45 seconds?
I have no idea.
I mean, 45 seconds, I could definitely see a person
guess
being
there's
able to
people
do.
that, like-
discussion.
Some of
Well,
those
again-
people have held their breath for like minutes, haven't they? Like world records.
yeah,
like,
I think the
Yeah,
world
but I
record is
mean,
like-
that's-
We had this discussion in
I'm
5e
saying
where
it.
it's broken as fluff. Where you're like,
Yeah.
I can hold my breath for 11 minutes, no problem.
I think you can, if you're an Olympic swimmer.
No. That's not most people.
Not most people. Yeah, that's years of training. I'm like average person. I think is like a couple, like up to a minute, maybe.
I just want to
I
say
don't
the world
know-
record is 24 minutes. Just saying.
I don't think very well. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what a
Again,
force
you're
user
talking about
can
an
do now.
extreme scenario of somebody sitting perfectly still and da 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 da. You're not talking about a real person doing real things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, because the aqua breathers allow you to be on there for 2 hours underwater, but realistically, it's probably about 2 minutes with you making resilience checks. You know what I mean? I
Okay.
would say wait after the first minute, resilience check. Then, if you depending on succeed or fail, you get another 30 seconds or 15 seconds. And if you succeed or fail, another 30 seconds or 15 seconds. And then if you fail a third time, you're unconscious and drown.
Okay.
That sort of a thing. But what does your actual ability say?
This is just when suffocating for the trance.
Okay, so
It's literally just damage reduction when you're exposed to a vacuum or suffocating. It doesn't give you any bonuses to it. It doesn't say.
Oh, that's right, because it does damage over time. That's how it works. That's right. So FFG,
When you start to suffocate, you do take damage over time, and when exposed to a vacuum, you take damage.
yeah, which that makes sense. Of course. Of course, I don't actually see the rules for how here's a cheat sheet. Suffocation. 3
No
strain
breathing.
So you can usually it says you can hold your breath for a number of rounds equal to brawn, but rounds are not defined by a specific amount of time. When you start suffocating, You take 3 strain per round after that, and then a
My
critical
bronze
injury.
of 3.
And a critical injury for every round you maintain suffocating after you fall unconscious. Your bronze of 3, so for 3 rounds in theory you can hold your breath. Again, a round is not
18 seconds.
a round is not defined in FFG.
Okay.
So what I'm going to say is a round is about, for this scenario, about 45 seconds.
Okay.
Because your
So
character's
about
supposed
2
to be.
minutes, give or take.
Exactly. Which is fair. And in an extreme scenario, a person can hold their breath for about that long. It's just most people don't push themselves to their limits because why the hell would you?
Did
Tyler, you
sense
know what I'm
do
talking about.
anything?
Sense. Okay. So did you roll for sense? You just booped the thing. Then roll me a perception check, sir.
Against what?
Let's say perception check against 2 red dice.
Okay. Even though I know what I'm looking for?
Yes, because things some things can hide themselves within the dark side.
I don't want to, before you roll, I don't want to be that guy. You did say you sensed this earlier. You sensed that there was a creature under the water. Does that help him at all, Scott?
Well, he did sense it beforehand, but I think he's trying to sense where it is.
Where it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because you gave him like a pretty good location of it last time when he was walking around the shoreline.
I didn't give him a location. I just said that he sensed that there's a presence of a creature there.
Oh, okay. My mistake.
All right. I will 2 yellow against 2 red. I'm gonna go ahead and light side it. I'm gonna downgrade the red, one of them. I'm gonna take us strain to upgrade on my side and add a green, so that way I've got a better chance.
Okay.
And I guess we'll see how it goes. I forgot to get rid of the force dice. I don't know if that doesn't affect the outcome though.
Well, you rolled a bunch of force dice beforehand, so what it is you're able to maintain detection of something down underneath the water, and you were told there's some sort of aquatic creature down there, but you don't know what it is. You don't know what it is, where it is, or anything like that. You just know that there's something down there, and you were told that anyways by the Night Sisters. So unfortunately, you have no guidance beyond this point. You're going to be able to, start walking in the water, like I said, about chest deep. Then you take a moment, breathing a few deep breaths. Then you take that last deep breath, and you start diving underneath the water to swim down below.
Are you taking that advantage for anything?
No.
Can I use that for strain or not? Since it was a perception.
Do you have strain?
Yeah, I just took one.
From where?
From upgrading my ability.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. You can heal it. Yep. Okay.
All right.
So,
I guess I'll take a deep breath and I'll kind of swim down further into the water toward where the general idea that I think this thing might be.
So you start swimming down there. You just start to do, at this point in time, a few sweeping searches. You know what I mean? You might not be able to find this creature your first dive down, and I think that Varen might understand that. So you dive down and you start searching around. At this point in time, you're not trying to search through the forest. You're actually actively looking for the creature as you're moving down there, trying to see what kind of flora or fauna might exist down there. And it's important to note. It's important to note that that there is a good amount of flora that does exist. There's various types of kelp or seaweed, whatever that is growing down there. From the bottom, you can see almost like reef-like creatures that live down beneath. Little plants that happen to live down below. And you can also see there's different types of fish that do swim through this area. The really cool thing about the different fish that you see down there is that when you swim near them, like when you first start searching around, they're scared of you. They are like scared of you and they're trying to run away. It's hard to see them. They move so quick, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But after you've been down there for a period of time, resistance check. Resistance check. Give me. It's average right now. Sorry, it's average right now. So 2 purple.
Sure. And I'm going to use enhance to boost resilience because my resilience is not great. So I've got enhance upgraded to include resilience. When making athletics, coordination, or resilience checks, may roll an enhanced power check as part of the pool. Spend light or dark to gain success or advantage. I think I'm going to use light side for this. So I'm only going to roll the 3 force dice since I'm not taking the power of the dark side at the moment, because I think keeping myself alive seems more light than dark.
Remember, here you can choose light or dark, but it is a you roll with 1 less die if you're using light side.
Yeah, so I'm only rolling 3 dice.
Okay, if you're gonna use that light side, can you do me a favor?
Mhm.
Can you go ahead and roll me a what is it? A 4 purple discipline check before you do this?
Sure.
So reset your pool 4 purple discipline.
I'm not going to light side this. Are you dark siding?
You know what? I am, because I'm a dingling ding dong.
Are you upgrading or downgrading me?
I don't remember what your skill is, so I'm gonna downgrade your skill because I think it's a lot. I think 4 purple is pretty heavy enough.
Okay. I won't burn a strain. I'll just see what happens.
Wow.
Nice.
That's weird. What do you want me to do with this? Just the threat there?
Give me 1 second to answer about the threat, and I'll tell you what's going on with that triumph right there, baby.
2 triumphs.
Double
Yeah.
triumph.
Wow. I downgraded him. Jesus.
I rolled 2 yellows and they both triumphed.
I am
That was a nuts roll.
not
job.
going to cause strain. I'm going to accidentally grant the enemy a significant advantage.
Okay.
All right. So you are able to resist the pull of the dark side, allowing you to use the light side of the force instead. But you become keenly aware of how strong of a grip the dark side had on you. The dark side, you've been nurturing it, feeding off of it the entire time you were here on Dathomir. That first triumph you have right there, it makes you keenly aware of the fact that you were well into the dark side and not easily able to just resist it, to just use the other side as you've wanted to beforehand. But you've actually become reliant on it for well over a day's time that you've spent here in Dathomir so far. Again, reliant on it, enjoying the power that it brings to you. That second triumph you have right there allows you to make a choice. There'll be no more discipline checks for you to resist the dark side of the force if you choose to use the light side moving on instead. But if you start to slip into the dark side again, it will grasp you once more.
I think Varen would choose to go light side at this point. Honestly, after talking to the Night Sisters and having that revelation that he's pursuing Revan again, I think he would, like, all of a sudden the remembering, like, turning against his Sith master and the voice telling him he was going down the wrong path. I think all of that would come, like, just pounding back. And I think he would realize he's been going so dark for so long now. So I think he would try really hard to resist. So I think he would only be using light side for at least a while.
Okay. So you'd be able to switch over to the light side of the force. There was a penalty I wanted to hit you with, but again, a second triumph is protecting you from that penalty. Remember that you only have 3 dice in your pool as long as you're using the light side of the force. Go back to what you were doing beforehand, which was the other die pool you had set up.
Yep.
And you were
3
welcome
force
to roll.
dice, 2 purple. I'll take a strain to upgrade. We have 4. I guess I'll use a light side and upgrade too, because this is pretty
we're
important.
doing really well on light side and dark side points right now.
Actually, I think I'll downgrade with that one, so I'll make it a 1 purple check. So got an upgrade from that. There will be a blue rolling, but that's from physical training, which is in my skill tree.
You're fine.
Okay, and it's resilience. So that's 2 light side, which makes it, I think, 5 successes. I don't think advantage. Let me see if I can convert that to advantage, or it has to be. I don't know if advantage even does anything, but let me see if I can use advantage or not.
Yep, you go right ahead, sir. While he's
I
looking
can
that
gain
up,
successes or advantage I don't know which one's more beneficial here, or if it doesn't really matter.
Well, the successes, what I was going to do is every 2 successes extends the amount of time between the checks for yourself.
Sure. So I'll do 1 success, 1 advantage with the 2 light side then.
And what do you want to do with the advantage?
I think I'll just keep my strain clear because I'm going to be needing it, I imagine. So
Okay,
I'll just make it 4 successes. And the 1 advantage I'll use to kill strain.
cool. Awesome.
Smart.
So then back to it. So you are able to hold your breath and maintain it pretty well, and focusing on the light side of the force, the nourishing side of the force, to keep you kind of like pushing on. So you go diving down and trying to look around. One of the things that you notice, this is what I was getting to, and you could definitely go a long period of time down here for having to worry about suffocation because of how much
Oh,
you are
breathing.
able to worry about breathing or anything like that, because of how much you're able to kind of like slow down your own heartbeat, your own metabolism, especially at the points in time where you literally are just underneath the water and you've got like, I imagine the knife in one of your hands, but you're just kind of like wading under the water, trying to keep your body from naturally floating up a little bit. You know what I mean? So you're just kind of like taking in down there. But speaking of taking in, you're actually taken off by, taken off guard by sudden lights that start to appear. This immediately, of course, sends Varen's mind into a quick alert as to what the hell it is. You're seeing sharp lights existing down there that are bright and almost neon-like in color. Makes you think of lightsabers that might have to exist in the water. But you didn't hear the telltale meow that happens when the lightsabers ignite, or
Meow. Be like Gary from SpongeBob.
reading your
Meow.
text, by the way. You're welcome. So, anyways, so the you don't hear any of the telltale signs, and the lights aren't anywhere near that long or that move in the correct way. You're actually able to eventually take in the fact that, while on high alert, that the fish down here, the fauna down here, naturally have a glow to them. They just seem to ignite that bioluminescence when they were frightened by you, and it's kind of like skirted away where they could stay hidden. But now that you're kind of like still and you're no longer frightening them, you start to see this like bioluminescence that exists down here. All the different fish having these different, a myriad of colors of these fluorescence lights, as they look like. So fun neon colored lights, I should say. Blues, greens, purples, reds, etc., etc., etc. So while you're down there, kind of like taking that in, it does start to kind of like paints the picture. I'm gonna have you go ahead and roll me another perception check for your search. But this time it's a little bit different. Yeah, because you've been down there for a bit. They've given you light. This time you're gonna go ahead and roll me a 3 purple perception.
Okay. I will light side again and upgrade my side, burn a strain and upgrade my side. So that way I've got 3 yellows I'm working with versus 3 purples.
Show me what you're.
What do I
working
want to
with.
downgrade? Actually, I'm going to downgrade with the light side. I think getting rid of a purple and just having another green gives me 3 dice against 2. I think I like that better. Because we've had bad luck the last couple of sessions. We've rolled a lot of double failures on purple dice.
We really have.
So I'm going to go 2 purple
it's me.
against that. I guess I'll roll perception. All right. The green dice is what got me the success, so good call.
Yeah, cool, awesome. So you are able to searching around and whatnot, looking at these different bioluminescent things. You're eventually able to see that down here, in the deep areas down below, is actually an area that has a little bit of almost like a cave system. Like you can see that down here, there's a couple of different tunnels that are all near to one another. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a xenobiology check? This is going to be an average roll.
Okay. I'm not going to upgrade this. I might burn a strain though. I'll burn a strain. No, actually, I'm not even going to do that. You going to dark side me?
Nah, not this. Yeah.
Perfectly balanced.
So I mean, exactly like Varen should be. So unfortunately, you see like cave tunnels, or underwater caves that happen to be inside here, but all clustered near to one another. You kind of swim over, and the reason why you're seeing them is because at first you don't notice it because the fish, as they swim around different areas, they glow their lights when they get dark at certain points. It's one of the points where you notice that they consistently get dark over in that spot that you make your way over trying to see it, and it's during the very rim of the light that they're able to kind of like emit from themselves right before they go dark swimming over the top there. They're able to see like kind of like the different mouths of the caves. If you want, you can go and investigate that further, or you can go check elsewhere.
I'll check that out.
So Varen's of course going to, he's feeling the crushing pressure of all that it is above, but again, he's very resilient. He has the force on his side, and he's been trained to do things like swimming and whatnot beforehand. Just obviously, he's not a typical deep diver. You're going to go and start swimming in that direction. Swimming is easy for you; it's a non-check. So you go start swimming in that direction. To most of the time, it's not a check. I should say. You start swimming over to that direction to see where it is, but unfortunately, it is very dark when you get here. It makes it very, very difficult to see. So you're going to go ahead and roll me that perception check again. However, this time, even though you're closer, so it's only a 1 purple, you are getting 3 black dice added to it.
Okay. I'm not going to modify it. I'm just going to roll, unless you want a dark side.
Nope. How about this?
I wish you luck.
May the force be with you. It was not. What do you want to do with that?
I'll just toss the advantage your way.
Because one of the things you can do is you can,
Get additional information.
if you want, you can perform a free maneuver, which means just re-roll.
Yeah, sure. I mean, time's not on my side, so I'll do that. That's fine.
That's why I even suggested it.
Okay.
Okay. So I already made you give me a accidental significant advantage.
Yeah.
I think I will make you suffer that bit of strain.
That's fine.
What do you want to do with your triumph?
Yeah,
A lot of triumphs so far this session.
there've been a lot of triumphs. The fact
All
that none of
rolled
those
by
rolled any
you.
failures. Only 2 rolls too. I mean, I don't even know what I'm seeing yet. I'll toss it your way, 'cause I don't even know what you're going to tell me I'm seeing, so it's hard to know what I'm going to do with it.
Why do I depict what I can? And if you want, you can make your decision then. So as I said, you were kind of going over to this bottom area where the various fish, the luminescent fish, get dark, so it makes it difficult to see. But you swim over there and squint your eyes and widen your eyes as much as you can to try to see, to get as much light as possible, staying as still as possible to keep the fish as calm as possible. So when they swim by, you have more lights to look in. So down at the bottom where you have all the different kelp and the seaweed and whatnot growing off of it, and you see all the different fish swimming around, you see a little divoted area, almost like an actual, like a divot, like a dugout spot within the actual bottom of the ground. And in that dugout spot, you're able to count out. Now you can actually see there are 5 little tunnels or caves that happen to exist in this bottom area. 5 of them that are kind of clustered together. It doesn't look like there's any form of pattern or whatnot to them, but they are close enough to one another that it makes you think that if there was something that lived down here, it would probably be able to swim in and out of any one of those with relative ease. Or if there's multiple creatures, they probably are clustered together in some sort of family units utilizing that. It's almost imagine like a rabbit burrow, which has multiple entrances, right? But anyways, so you're able to kind of like take in that whole area down there. The important thing that you're able to pick out, if you, do you want me to give me the triumph or no?
Yeah, you can still have it. I still don't know what I would do with it, so you can have it.
Using it for more information, the important thing you're able to pick out is right in the middle of these cave spots, as you can actually see a little area that really catches your eye because it's giving off just a little bit more light to pick it out. It takes you a while, and I mean a while of staring for you to make out what it is. But it looks like that bottom area between the holes is littered with a whole bunch of different bones. The fish bones, which of course being light in color, reflecting a bit more light.
Taking note of that, I think I would want to go down there and investigate it, but I think I mean, with all these checks, I imagine I've been down here a while. I might
You
need to
have.
swim up
I'm
to
literally
breath.
about to make you make another resilience check.
Yeah, I think I can do that, but I think Varen's about to swim up to catch his breath and then go back down.
Sure. So you just want to swim straight up instead?
Yeah, I mean, if I swim straight up and then come back down, I know where this is. So
Okay. So you go to start swimming back up. This is an entirely different check. Go ahead and roll me a perception check again. However, this time I'm going to have you roll. It's sorry. You're gonna roll me a perception check. Flat, no purple dice, but with 3 black dice.
I'm not gonna light side.
Okay.
Are you dark siding?
I mean, not at the moment. Dark side right now, is it? Okay, now I have it correct. It was wrong on my screen before. It's good now.
5 to 2. You have
Yep,
5.
yep,
I
yep.
have 2.
I saw 5 to 0 before, but it's because
Okay.
I had to sync.
All right. There we go. I'll take the advantage because I need to start healing strain again.
Okay. No, you don't take that advantage.
Okay,
All
I
right.
won't take the advantage. Would have liked it, but that's fine.
Give me 1 second. There's a reason why you don't.
Those black dice are what I like to see. Blank, blank, blank.
Yeah, I know that was kind of convenient for you, wasn't it? I'm gonna give myself a upgrade.
Oh, okay. You're rolling something against me. I got it. Stealth or
Yeah,
something. That's a lot of advantage.
but not
Only
enough
one
success. Wow.
How many
Ouch.
success did you need?
I needed at least 2
Stealthy creature.
success. Yeah,
If he had another success in there, he would have succeeded by a lot. 'Cause it was an opposed check.
yeah. But unfortunately, I did not have that success that I needed. So, you know what's funny is I didn't press upgrade. I pressed +1 green die, but it equals the same thing, doesn't it?
If you had 3 yellow, yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I pressed the wrong thing, but that's fine as long as it worked. Awesome. You actually beat the perception check. So despite the fact that I gave me a ridiculous advantage, which is plus giving you 3 black dice when I approached you.
You've got 4
I
dice
still
to
failed.
2, an extra yellow, and I had 3 black.
So there, we don't do anything with those advantages. I just lose the check. So you sir, all of a sudden as you're swimming up there, swimming to go up there, all of a sudden you feel something. You feel like a disturbance. You kind of like feelings. You notice something flicker, like move in the corner of your eye. You quickly look over it with just enough time to see a large ass tentacle reaching out to grab at you.
Large
Like,
ass tentacle.
Gross.
unfurling and reaching out to grab at you. But fortunately for you, you were able to roll vigilance first. It doesn't just get to immediately attack you. Let me clear the pool.
This is an initiative vigilance roll.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is. Okay. Ba, 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 ba. Where are you? Oh, no, that's,
I'm so sorry.
you should be.
No breathing.
Did you beat me
Not be
again?
one. Yeah, by 1.
How the hell did you beat me again?
I don't know.
He's built different.
I keep being better than you, and you keep beating
I
me.
don't know. Are you sure that you're better? I mean, you haven't beat him yet.
This is insanity.
You want to know what it
Show you,
is?
It doesn't matter how fucking good your dice pool is. This dice system can fuck you very easily.
You want to know what it is?
What's
Is
that?
Wade's, I'm sorry, Varen's feet are just bigger.
Is that what it is?
Gives him an extra.
It's just
RNG
simple
roll.
math. Sorry,
Just
Scott.
simple math, yeah.
Okay, I will. I'll accept that. I accept that his foot size is larger than mine. I'm guessing Wade is a size 14. Sorry, a size 13 foot. I'm guessing a size
be correct.
13 wide, and wide is probably 2E.
I don't have any idea what the E's mean, but like Nike shoes
I
are a
don't know
little bit
what
too narrow.
he's-
So do you buy wide? Do you ever buy shoes that just say the word wide on it?
No.
I know that some Nike shoes were too like narrow, so I don't buy those. But like if I just get standard Brooks, which is what I've been wearing because I've needed it for like the padding, those fit fine.
So you never just buy wide shoes?
What are wide
No,
shoes?
I've not had to worry about the
Oh.
width.
So
You're
so
telling me that you've never gone to specifically the wide shoe store?
no,
and
no,
picked out
you
a
go to
pair?
fucking Target and you can find a wide or a W next
You're
to.
the only person I've ever met in my entire life that have bought wide shoes.
I don't just buy wide. I have to. Most companies don't even make a 6E shoe. Like
I don't know what
Most companies don't sell shoes that are wider than they are long.
No,
Yeah.
that's not wider than long. But so
Wait, it has a
It's a
point.
6 this
The
way and an
number-
11 this way.
if you're looking at your foot, the number is this. The letter is this. It goes like this. So the average woman's shoe is, I think, a C.
Well, there's your
and-
problem. You're buying women's shoes. Have you
And the
thought about
average
buying
man's
men's
shoe-
13, dude.
The average
It's
man's
13.
shoe
Sometimes
is
there's
a,
a
is a
half.
D. And
Hold
so
on, are these kids
so
shoes
so
or...
Kajitar, New Balance 630s, like the actual, I think it's 630 is the actual New Balance style. They sell that in 6E. But most New Balances, I was just about to bring that up. Most New Balances don't even make 6E.
I've only messed around with 5E a little bit.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Same, just a little bit of 5e.
All right,
So you know what I buy, Kajitar? You know what I buy? My wife goes to an orthopedic website and buys me grandpa shoes.
That's 2 more interruptions from Scott. That's another 10 experience
Oh,
points.
shut up. So
I thought I'm keeping track.
since when are the
Hey.
letters and shoe sizes? Always V-sword. Every shoe size always has had a letter size in it. It's just if you buy a standard shoe as a lady, you probably buy a C. So let's say you're a size. Let's say I met you. If I had to guess, you're probably like a size.
You are still the only person I've ever met. I have bought shoes my
7.5
entire
C.
life to do like track and cross country. I've never met anybody that's like, oh yeah, I wear a size 11E.
Well, they probably don't bring up the letter usually because they have feet.
No,
as
because
massive
they're
as
normal
mine.
people. Like, hi, what size shoe are you?
So the tentacle's coming toward me. And I've got this. Scott, I've got nothing on my sheet for this knife. I have no idea what the fuck it does. So I don't know what
It
I'm rolling
cuts
to attack
things.
with this knife. But
Wait, is that a knife 5E or FG?
I think it's a double Y 6-inch blade.
Oh, that's got a plus
So
2 modifier to
cryptic
slash damage.
2E is standard wide shoe. A standard wide, like if you buy it from any place, that's 2E. That's a standard wide. 6E is triple wide. But
Mine
anyways,
says 13 US. So I've got 2 letters on mine.
I'm not making this shit up. Chat can
I think
confirm.
you
Yeah.
are. I think you are. Are you buying European shoes?
So well, Varen's not wearing shoes because he's underwater. This tentacle's coming up, and I don't even need to kill this thing. I just need to cut part of it. So Scott, can I do draw closer without a lightsaber?
That's a force power, right? Or do you
Doesn't it
need a
require the
light-
lightsaber skill?
Yes.
I would say yes.
Well, I don't know if this blade. I don't think I can use this blade with a lightsaber skill, but I don't know what the hell this blade is.
It uses melee. I think that's what it's called. Right? Isn't that what it's called? Melee?
It doesn't say I have to use a lightsaber. It just says make a lightsaber willpower combat check, which I imagine I would have to use a lightsaber for.
Yes. Well, if you use the lightsaber skill check, there are some weapons that you can use a lightsaber skill check to use a not lightsaber. You know, if you know what I mean.
Well, it says we never added this blade to my combat sheet, so I've got nothing for it on here. I know nothing about this blade other than it's a blade. So I just need to add something that uses melee to my sheet.
Correct.
What's the
sorry.
damage
The
for
damage
all
for
this?
it. The damage for it, because it is just a ceremonial blade, is going to be +1. So it's your brawn +1.
Critical. Encumbrance, I'm guessing, is 1. What's the critical on it?
The critical for this weapon is going to be 4. It's not meant for basic combat.
I figured it was probably shit. Okay, that's good enough. Skill melee.
Oh, and because of the style of it, it's unwieldy, which means it offers 1 black die.
Of
Okay.
course.
Is
Sorry, I
that under
described it beforehand.
modifiers?
Yes. 1 BLK.
Got it.
No spaces, I believe.
I just did the same thing that you did for the other one when it was damaged. Okay, so I want to use my move to move toward the tentacle. I'm fine making athletics or coordination or whatever you want to. I basically want to try to like grapple onto this tentacle and cut the tip of it off.
Okay.
Just the tip?
Just the tip. They didn't tell me a specific part, right? They just said to cut a piece of it and bring it to them.
Yep, without killing the creature.
Okay, well, that's what I'm going to try to do.
Okay, so you're going to so how are you doing this?
I want to use my move action to get to it. Like I said, if you need me to make a
To swim there.
coordination or athletic check to try to grapple on, because I want to like hold on to it and then try to cut part of the tentacle off.
So to grapple is actually a brawl check. Is literally for grappling.
Great.
Yep.
So how do I roll that then? It's just a 3 green.
Yep. You roll your brawl, and it's able to counter you with its brawl or coordination.
Okay. It's weird. Why is grapple not a skill? Why is that not under athletics or something?
Because it's just brawl. It's simplistic like that.
It's not, because brawl's not a
I was
skill.
gonna say it doesn't sound very
The only
simple.
brawl there is a combat skill to like hit someone with your fist.
Correct, but that's the same thing you're going to use to wrestle somebody to the ground and like pin them in place and so on and so forth. It's all the same thing. Makes it easier.
Okay. I will use a light side to downgrade its skill. I will burn a strain to upgrade mine. I'll still probably fail this because I imagine this thing is. I don't know. Actually, I have no idea how if it's agile or brawny.
You're gonna roll no. Well, it's gonna be able to roll coordination or brawl, whatever it prefers. And you're able to.
I'm downgrading its skill and I'm upgrading mine with a burn strain.
So I take a downgrade. Cool. And we're not rolling with any purple or black dice.
Not that unless not that I have. That's a good roll.
That is a nauseatingly good roll. And you give me a downgrade.
Yes.
I
Good
won't
luck.
lie. With how bad your skill is, you rolled insanely well.
I've been very lucky so far today, which I imagine is not going to hold up forever.
I'm genuinely concerned about this. Okay, are you ready?
I know you want us to stay on Dathomir forever. I'm ready.
By one
What the
again.
fuck? 6? Jesus Christ.
Good
It
job.
should have
Rick.
been 2 yellow dice, but you downgraded me 1. How did he beat me by 1 again? This is 3 times in a row. He beat me by 1 success, even though I crushed him at an advantage and have a much higher skill. This is insanity. Did you? I know I applied for a job at Roll20 and they never even responded to me, but like, did you just contact them to tell them to fuck with me too?
No.
So anyways, yeah, let's, yeah, Wade is a hacker and slasher and brawler and crawler. So, yeah, you were able to grab a hold of its limb. That's of course your action. You moved over there and you used your action to grab a hold of its limb, its giant tentacle. And then, and then it's the creature's turn, isn't it?
Well, you've not let me attack yet.
Well, you
Unless
used your
that counts as the
action-
attack.
Yeah, it's your grapple.
Okay.
I got the tip.
Great. I guess it's its turn to probably one-shot me.
I don't know about one shot. You don't have armor though, so what's your my attack against you?
Oh, I think I've got two black dice if you're meleeing.
But you don't have armor on, so does that still apply?
Yes, because it's whatever weapon I'm wielding, because it's defensive training, I believe.
You go ahead and double check that. And my dice pool is ready. Otherwise,
Does a lightsaber have a built-in melee?
I believe lightsabers do have a built-in defense.
So then it's only 1 black dice from defensive training.
Okay, I'll apply that 1 black die. I'm gonna go
Because
ahead
I'm
and-
still wielding a lightsaber melee or brawl weapon.
I'm now going to roll significantly better.
And I didn't use any force powers that round, right?
I
don't think you did.
You did not.
So can I do... I've never actually used this, but let me see what this says.
Ooh, I love when we use new skills.
I can only do it by 1, but it might be necessary because I do need to stay alive. So I'm going to burn a strain and commit a force dice for at least this round to increase my soak by 1,
Okay.
which will only affect if I get hit.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
So my soak will count as a 5.
Yep.
I don't know how hard this thing hits, but if it's got a brawl
it's a
of
5,
6.
but don't forget, you don't have your armor on.
Okay, so it's a soak of 1, I guess.
Okay. So this thing absolutely could hurt you pretty darn hard.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Only a 2 success. Could have been a lot worse.
That's 10. So that's 9 damage. I was already wounded, so that puts me at wounds 10.
How am I
Ow.
rolling such trash?
Hi, welcome to me every week.
So I could parry this. I think I can. Do I have to? Do I have to? Do
Are
I
you
have to have a
trying to
lightsaber
kill
to parry?
Wade? I feel like you're trying to kill him.
Hang on.
Well, I'm very upset because I almost killed 2 PCs on Monday,
Can
and
I
unfortunately I
parry
failed.
this with a tiny little dagger?
If parry doesn't specifically say his
It
lightsaber,
does not
then
say
you
I need
can
a lightsaber.
then you can parry. And I imagine it's not your dagger. I imagine it's actually almost like your martial training, right?
Okay, so I will suffer 3 more strain.
But you have to imagine the way a tentacle attacks is it either wraps around you and it squeezes you, or it comes at you and does like a little flick at the very end because things don't move very quickly underwater. So it's gonna be like a small, hard, high strength movement rather than
Okay.
a big like. You know.
So I took 3 strain to reduce that by 4. It's already reduced by 1 because of my soak. So my wounds go up by 5. So I took 5 wounds.
Yep.
That still puts me at like half my wound threshold and almost and half my strain threshold. So we're still not looking
And that's
great.
because I rolled trash. Just for funsies, I'm gonna roll that again just to see what it looks like. Obviously, this next roll doesn't matter. I'm just curious what it looks like.
Can we please count that one instead?
Yeah, I would like to count that one.
What?
I hate the fact that you wasted your miss on an off roll. And whenever you hit me for like 18 crits next time, I'm going to protest that.
Listen, I think I need some scotch. I think I need to pull a messy / Rena. I think I need to get a glass and have some scotch, but I won't take away the momentum from you, Wade. Even though I'm suffering over here, why don't you go ahead and get your dice pool together? It's your turn.
I'm holding on to this thing.
Oh,
It's
it
clearly very-
attacked you. It attacked you, but I didn't use my maneuver. I'm so sorry. It attacked you. I didn't use my maneuver. Oh, no, click this one over here. So for its maneuver, it's going to guard stance. So it's going to add 1 black die to your turn.
That's fine. Is that only against physical attacks?
Melee attack specifically.
Okay.
Melee being lightsaber, brawn, or the skill melee. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm going to try something because I don't know if I can actually take a full hit from this thing. Brawn adds soak as well, so I should have soaked more. How much soak does brawn add?
Brawn, your base soak. Oh yeah, your base soak is brawn. Oh yeah, Kajitar. Your brawn is your base soak, and then your armor adds on top of that. What is your brawn?
3.
So it's 3 plus you use an ability equals 1 is 4.
So I should have
Plus-
taken a lot less then.
You should take 3 less damage.
Okay, so should my overall soak be higher then?
Your overall soak is usually correct because your armor only offers 2 and your brawn is 3. So usually you have a 5, I think.
I usually have a 4.
What does your armor offer?
It's a soak of 1 usually, I guess. I forgot
Okay.
that we changed the armor because it used to be different.
So
Actually,
it is,
the armor. Yeah, the armor's a soak of 1. There's 2 hard points that I've not gotten to use for anything. Add a setback die to opponent attempting to identify the wearer is the only thing that the armor does, and 1 soak. Okay.
Oh,
Thank
and
you. That
have-
helps.
sorry. If you go back to where you just were, you also have the multi-band comm link. So you have an attachment that just doesn't take up one of your hard points. Oh, sorry. I just modified that to be but it's 0 hard points for that, just so you know. But yes, it does
Cool,
help.
I
So
forgot
take
about
3
that.
less damage. That's all.
Okay, well, it went from 6 wounds to 3, so that's a lot better.
Yeah, you're in great shape. You.
You're doing great.
Okay, I'm going to uncommit that force dice that was giving me an extra soak. How hard is it just to cut a part of something off? I've never tried to do that before. So,
It's an
like,
amount.
is it?
It's an amount of damage.
And I imagine this dagger fucking blows.
Oh no! I did not 7 minutes ago. God damn it!
Oh hell yeah! Thank you,
Oh.
chat.
Sorry.
This dagger has a damage of 4. And I imagine this thing has like a soak. My melee skill fucking sucks. So I'm never going to damage this thing enough to cut a part off by itself. I'm going to try something. We will see how it goes. This is going to be an opposed roll. And I'm definitely going to be using a light side. I'm going to try to influence this creature I'm grappling.
Are you actually gonna try to?
Yes.
You're gonna make.
Because otherwise it's going to
Nessie,
fucking
dude.
kill me before I ever damage it with this. If it's got a brawn of 6.
Bro, it like went full on at you with a tentacle, and you're like, I'm into this. Do more. Like that's how this last round of the combat went.
Yeah, but it's got a brawn of 6. This dagger does 4 damage and my melee skill sucks, Scott. How long will it take me to even do 1 damage
Did
to
you
cut a part
see
of it
my
off?
last roll against you? Here, let me roll one more time.
Yeah, that's what we're about to start seeing.
That's what I was hoping for. That's actually a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 of those and I'm dead. So,
As if Scott can even hit you. He's having
man.
having a little bit of a hard time tonight.
I want this creature to believe it wants to aid me in my quest.
You can do it, Wade.
Thank you.
I have faith in you.
What is my... Hold on, let me see what my melee skill even is. Is melee based on bronze? Is it just 3 green?
Correct.
So I'd be rolling 3 green. Yeah. That's beautiful, Scott.
Well,
So if I'm trying to make it believe something untrue, it's an opposed discipline check, Scott.
yes.
Assuming this thing's sentient enough to understand what I'm trying to get it to say. That's up to you.
That is an attempt. What's the opposed roll?
Discipline v discipline.
And you're trying to ask it to stay still so you can cut it nicely?
No, to aid him on his quest.
Aid me on my quest.
Okay.
Which is kind of vague right now, and I'm happy to make another roll to let me try to like cut it. But right now I'm just trying to get it to chill out and like want to help me.
Discipline v discipline, huh? Why don't you roll your discipline roll first?
Okay.
And you're sitting there like, strumming my pain with his finger.
This thing's very brawny, so I'm assuming it's not a high willpower, but I don't know that for a fact. So I will use that light side to... I'm going to downgrade your willpower, your check, your discipline check.
Okay, I'll take a goddamn downgrade.
I'll burn a strain to upgrade mine. Because I have no idea if this is another force creature that's just like ridiculously perfect at everything, or if it's just really brawny and shitty at everything else. I guess we'll find out. Discipline be discipline. I have to make a force power check with 3 dice. It's a pretty good roll.
Good luck, Scott.
8 successes. That's 8 successes and 3 light pips.
By the way, I love your seaman cosplay.
That's a pretty good roll. That's a pretty good roll.
Okay, and you gave me a downgrade?
Yeah. Okay, I think I won that.
That was a little close. Scott lost by 1. At least
So
1.
it's okay. Well, I think it's 2 yellows typically. I mean, it's not incompetent.
I'm getting slaughtered by Wade.
Listen, Varen is not very physically fucking gifted here, so I've got to think outside the box. I've got like 3 things I can think outside the box with. My other alternative was to use move and throw this fucking thing out of the lake and just have it flop around on the ground.
What do you say to it?
Can it understand me? Like, do I feel like this thing can communicate with me?
What do you say to it?
Varen doesn't have his mask on.
Yeah, we have to hear Wade's sweet, sweet voice.
The Night Sisters require I return
Remember,
with a
you're
piece of
underwater.
you.
No, I just mean you might want to keep light words, but Night Sisters require. I return with a piece of you. It
He'll
actually
start with that.
it actually moves its whole body out of the way. And when you actually see it swim to move, you can see it's not like this giant octopus or squid like you might be originally imagining, or Cthulhu who's walking around with a paddle and a neon sign that says "Welcome to Daddy's Dungeon" or anything like that. It actually looks like a pretty decent sized. If you had to put a description to it, almost like an orca, but smaller.
It's a whale.
It's like a smaller orca or like a larger dolphin, right? So that kind of like shape and whatnot to it, but it has growing off of the underbelly of this creature 2 very long tentacles that come off of its underside. These tentacles, of course, long and incredibly flexible, so on and so forth. Whether the tentacles are arms, it's a different conversation. Get into that conversation with a xenobiologist, which you are not one, so don't worry about that. But these are you can see these 2 large tentacles coming off of the thing. It actually swims out for where it was kind of out of sight, so you can see it, and you're still like holding on to its tentacle that it has over here. And as it swims out and it looks at you, and you can see a certain degree of keenness in its eyes, a keenness that doesn't say it's particularly, it's probably about at least as smart as pride. It's not very smart, but it has a keenness in its eyes. And then with its other tentacle, it actually unfurls it outwards, kind of like in a sweeping motion that suggests that you can, for you to follow its line, and it gestures down and into the caves.
Varen will follow.
So I imagine you go swimming in that direction.
Yeah. I'll probably have to make another resilience check soon, I imagine.
Need one from you, baby. Don't forget, that was
Okay.
a couple of rounds, so I definitely need a resilience check from you now. But beforehand,
Okay.
it was only 1 purple. We skipped a few, and your body's hurting. So why don't you go ahead and roll me a resilience check with 3 purple? Feel free to modify that roll if you want.
I will be. I'll light side downgrade. I will strain and upgrade my pool. And I will use enhance, add dice. Okay, so that is 4 successes.
Okay. So you start going down. What is it? You start swimming down to the bottom area, to the where it is the down the cave area. With your 4 successes, maintaining a degree of caution. You can feel the burning happening in your chest. You feel the discomfort and whatnot that you have inside of you, but you are not it's not like you have to succumb to this yet. You go over to where the actual cave entrances are, and you can kind of like see that there's multiple options there before you. You look up at the creature, but it doesn't seem to offer you any more information than to stop attacking you and gesture you in this direction. If you would like, you could try to reach out with the force.
Okay, sure. What do you want me to roll for that? Influence, sense, just a force power check, destiny point. What do you want me to do?
That would be a perception check, but sense. And wait, you said 4 successes?
3 light side, and
Yep.
the one that's there.
Okay, so don't forget that you can have 1 advantage because all you needed was 3 successes.
I thought you said 2 and 2 made a difference.
Was it 2 and 2? I thought it was 3 and 3. Oh, yeah, it was 2 and 2. You're correct. My apologies. You're correct. Yep, you are correct. Hey, Will, we talked about you earlier.
There you are. Rena's been looking for you.
Rita was worried about you. So
worried.
don't worry though. You're here. We can see
You're
that
supposed
well.
to be right here in my chair.
Yeah. Oh, and I was flipping through pictures
She
on my
should be, to be honest.
I was flipping through pictures on my computer earlier, and I saw a picture of me and you hanging out. It made me sad because that'll never happen again because you live on the other side of the planet.
All right. Well, for that's another 5 experience. Thank you, Scott, for the side tangent. I'm
You
swimming.
dick.
So what, you want me to roll perception or sense? Because I mean, they're unless you were having me combine the 2.
Combine the 2, same as before.
I never did that before because I've
Oh.
not used perception with 3 force dice before.
Well, perception, but you also have to do sense at the same time, so might as well combine them.
Okay. What's the difficulty?
Let's see, because you're reaching out with the force. 2 red.
All right. I'm running out of light side here, but I'm also running out of air, so I guess I'm going to use another light side. I'm going to downgrade. I'm going to strain and upgrade my side because I want to get through this. It's 1 light side pip and 2 successes.
You are actually able to notice where the creature is. You can sense the swelling force inside whatever this creature is. What you were feeling down here wasn't this fish, this dolphin-esque thing with the tentacles. No, you feel something else. It's deeper down these caverns beneath you. You can feel it deeper down there. So, you know, there's only one way to go to find it.
Do I get the feeling that I'm going to be able to hold my breath long enough to go deep enough?
It's a really good question. You have no idea.
Fuck it, one way to find out. I guess we're going down. Hopefully there's air down here otherwise.
So while you're swimming down there, you want to go ahead and do me a favor and
I would love to.
and roll me another perception check. This time, no light side or anything like that. It's going to be a 3 purple perception.
No light side? Okay.
Yeah, no force powers.
3 purple perception.
Mm-hmm.
Can I still burn a strain to upgrade on my side?
So you would yes, you can. You can do whatever you'd like.
Whatever you like.
Okay.
70 experience, please.
All right, 3 dice versus 3 dice. Are you dark siding this? Or no force at all?
No force. No, I'm not going to use force in this. It's not worth it for me.
Triumph.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So the success, what the success does is you find an area that down in this cave network that you had chosen to go down. So with the triumph, I'll just give you the whole thing. So the cave network that you happen to go down, the successful one that happens to be down there, it has several different bends that exist. Now, just like in any subterranean area, there's different types of plants and whatnot that happen to exist. Plants are able to consume, whether it be through photosynthesis or chemosynthesis, make different types of gases or other byproducts. Well, one of the bends that you happen to be down happens to have a little air pocket that exists right where like an elbow is. Almost imagine like plumbing, right? So it's like a little bendy spot where there's an air pocket above. And because of natural photosynthesis of the plants down here, it actually emits air that fills up that pocket. It gives Varen a moment to be able to, as he's swimming along and swimming, he kind of like sees a weird sheen that suggests it's the surface of water.
Charlie?
So he stops and he swims up to Charlie and he takes a moment and then pops his head through and he realizes, oh, sorry, it's just, fuck, I forgot his brother's name.
Bill.
Great joke.
No, his name's weird. It's like Escobar. Something
Yeah, good
Escobar.
old Charlie
Yep.
and Escobar Sheen.
Escobar Sheen.
Yeah, it's something Escobar. What the fuck is Charlie Sheen's brother's name? That was his name. Something Escobar, right? You guys really don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't
No.
fucking know, man.
Emilio Estevez, not Escobar. Estevez. Thank you. Emilio Estevez. Thank you so much. Is his brother famous? Yes, it's Emilio Estevez. Very famous.
Sure.
Mighty Ducks?
Love it. Saw it when I
You
was
never
like
saw
4.
Mighty Ducks? Okay. At least you saw it.
I did, but like a lifetime ago.
I mean, Will knows what I'm talking about. He's all about the Mighty Ducks.
Oh my god, Wade is calling Scott old?
I mean, he looks way older, but I am older.
Not all of us dye our beard every day.
I don't die. You can literally
Yeah,
see.
no, you're right. So anyway, I go to the air pocket. And I guess the Mighty Duck, I'm about to get a rousing speech from Emilio Estevez.
Yes.
Oh, you missed a spot, Stott.
All right. So, anyways, you pop your head through the water, and you're able to actually take a few moments to get catch your breath.
That's important.
You look
I do that.
Triumph. You suffer a strain for doing it, though, you bitch.
Okay.
You probably only have
I'm
like
gonna-
4 strain on you.
14.
Oh, really?
It's a lot of strain.
Oh, yes. What happens when
You
you
had me
run out of
take
strain?
3 at one point.
Oh, that's awesome. That makes me so happy. Cool. This character might actually die. So as you're down here kind of catching your breath and whatnot, you're actually able to, you can't stay here indefinitely because it will run out of air and then you're going to be breathing false air, right?
I
You'll be
imagine he just
breathing-
wants to get his breath, catch his bearings, then go right back to it.
Yeah. I imagine he probably stays up there for a good like 20 seconds or so. I mean, you know how it is when you've been like, say, wrestling in the pool or have your head underwater for whatever. You actually like have to take a few moments to genuinely catch your breath, but you can't do that comfortably. So you're going to have to go back down. So anyways, when you take that breath and you gather it a little bit, you end up taking a, and then you dive back down underneath water to breathe a little bit more easily. To swim a little bit more easily. You continue swimming down along this cave network. Again, no checks or anything like that need to be made. Eventually, you get to a spot where the area, the area that's beyond, you can see it kind of opening up, but it is very, very dark down here. The fish, the bioluminescent fish, they're non-existent in this region. Instead, you're relying on a few bioluminescent plants that happen to grow along the walls, the cave walls down here, but they're not providing much light at all. One of the important things that you notice is that despite everything I'm describing, you can see that the area, this tunnel opens up to a large cavernous spot that's down below. In that large cavernous spot, I'm going to have you roll me another perception check. Again, it's just 1 purple and it's 3 black dice because of how dark it is.
Okay. I'm not going to burn a strain. I'm not going to use the last light side. Are you going to dark side?
You know what? I think I will for this.
Cool. Upgrade me or downgrade me?
I'm going to red dye you. So upgrade the difficulty.
Cool. Okay, I triumph. Am I taking the 2 strain?
Let me give you 1 second. I think I just want to give you a black die on your next check. I do. I want to give you a black die on your next check. And you do succeed. What do you want to do with that triumph, sir?
You got
Is
it, man.
Is there nothing that you could like look over what triumphs can do that way you can have a moment to see if there's anything that like comes to mind that you want to be able to use? Like genuinely take a moment.
I will reduce the difficulty of my next check.
Okay. So I give you a black die and you're like, cool, I'm gonna take away purple. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Use a dick. All right. What you notice down there is you actually see that there's a large thing that seems to be resting.
I don't think I can use a triumph to heal strain. I think it's only advantage.
Correct. There's a large thing that happens to be resting on the floor inside this area. You're not entirely sure what it is at first until you realize that it is in fact like a creature that's lying there. It has a carapace covered body. Carapace, of course, being like chitin or like a shell like armor. You know what I mean? Body. It has antenna that naturally kind of like float around, and you can see there's a few different appendages that are on this thing. It's hard to make out all the different features to it, but it definitely seems like these appendages are once again rigid because it's a carapace body. It's a little bit sharper in its nature. You can see that the thing seems to be lying there. But again, it's tentacles. Sorry, it's tentacles. It's antenna moving around. Give you the suggestion that maybe you should roll a xenobiology check against 4 purple dice.
Okay. I'm glad you're using the black on this. I'm not even gonna bother upgrading. You dark sided me?
Oh, sorry. I meant 3 purple dice, not 4.
Oh,
I'm so
well, that
sorry.
changes it. Are you dark siding me?
I will
Great. Upgrade.
upgrade the difficulty.
Cool. So it's gonna be 2 purples. No, it's gonna be I'm using that to downgrade, right? So do I apply the upgrade and the downgrade on that side from the triumph?
Was it a downgrade or was it a remove difficulty?
Let me see exactly what it said. Reduce one difficulty die from yours.
So that takes away a purple, but also still doesn't upgrade.
Okay.
So I said 3 becomes 2, and then you also upgrade.
Okay. Damn, I forgot about that. I might have. Okay. Do I burn a string for this? I don't have many left, so I think I'm just gonna fail this and take my failure. Xenology?
Xenobiology, yes, sir.
Well, that's not a thing.
Oh, xenology, my apologies. Well, a failure is better than a despair, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess take the W on that one. You have no idea what this creature is or anything about it. What do you do?
Whenever they sent me on this quest, did they show me a piece? Did they hold something up at me? I thought they did. Maybe they didn't. Okay. Does it look like it's sleeping, or does it look like it's... Do I have any idea it's just laying there?
It is very still. And you don't see eyes that seem to be open or apparent by any stretch of the imagination. It seems very still with how it is. So if you had to guess, sleeping. Because it doesn't look like it's rotting or anything like that. So it doesn't look like it's dead.
I'm going to... I guess I'm going to try to... I thought the other creature was the right creature, so I guess I'm going to try talking to this one too. So I guess I'm going to try waking it up or influencing it.
I like how
And
you're
try to
just little
communicate with it.
mermaiding your way around this whole pond.
Varen's he's a multi-trick pony, but his tricks are not combat, and going and cutting some of this off while it's sleeping seems like it would end very badly for me.
Try it. No balls.
Let me swim down to it and see if I can see anything more as I go down.
So you're just going to like flat out swim up to it?
I'm going to try to swim closer to it. I guess quietly. I don't want to wake it up until I'm like ready to wake it up.
So you want to try to roll like a stealth check?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, you can roll a stealth check, and I'll roll a perception, but of course I have a penalty to my perception because it's sleeping. So
Okay, well, my stealth is shit anyway, so we'll both be shit. I'm just 3 greens on stealth. What's the difficulty? Or am I just rolling against your perception?
You just roll against my perception, and I have I'm adding, because I'm sleeping, I'm actually adding 2 black dice to my check.
2 black dice. Wow. I don't have any bonuses or anything to stealth, so it's just gonna be a flat stealth roll.
Yep, and my perception is not like crazy awesome.
There you go.
I actually could beat you, but then again, I should have beat you in all the other ones, and I could not. So I don't know if I actually am going to be able to do it. What do you think?
Probably, because I feel like the dice have got to start turning in your favor here at some point.
Okay. So
far, it's been the underdog rolls that have won. Except for the discipline check. We tied?
I think in Star Wars, ties
Our
are
rules.
supposed to be
PC
reroll, but
rule.
PCs win ties, yeah.
Well, that's up in our Lost Initiative rules, right?
Hey, hype train! What? Bring
Hey.
it on the hype train. Chugga,
So do I
chugga,
win or do you want me to
chugga,
reroll?
chugga. No, you win ties. That's a Lost Initiative rule, and since this is the 5-year anniversary of Lost Initiative, we gotta stick with our rules, don't we?
Sure.
I think I originally made that rule for Maggie in the first ever campaign, and then I just stuck with it. So you should say thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Maggie. I do miss Maggie. I miss Maggie. I miss Doxy. I miss a lot of people.
It's funny. I'm totally not going to be hanging out with Maggie or Doxy anytime soon.
Oh, that's unfortunate. You should.
Yeah.
They're
I
great
want to
people.
roll a
Maybe starting on
perception.
October 21st or something. Go ahead.
If this is this thing's lair, I want to look around and see if there's just a piece of it that might have come loose. If it's got like an armor shell thing, maybe there's just a piece of it already laying around, so I don't have to disturb it at all.
If there's any amount of shell or armor, like anything like that, that's to it, you're talking about maybe part of its carapace that would have kind of like peeled off as it molted over the years. And so if you swimming down
that
there,
wouldn't count probably. They want a piece that looks like a piece.
yeah. So looking around for that, you can see just like it doesn't look to be like anything that's beyond maybe a little bit of molting here and there around.
Okay. All right, chat. I'm gonna let you guys help me decide. Do I just go try to cut a piece off while it's asleep and fail miserably, or do I try talking to this thing and seeing if it's sentient enough to understand?
Hey Wade, I just want to put in my 2 cents if you don't mind. A long time ago, I read this book. It was called The Rainbow Fish, and he seemed pretty chill. So I would try to talk to it and see if it would just give it up.
Yeah, I read a book about a rainbow fish to Aurora, and it went into a cave of crystals, and it was supposed to keep an eye on a little fish, but the little fish wanted to give the thing some nice crystals and snuck away, and then they had to go find the little fish. I don't know what the moral of the story was, but it was about a rainbow fish.
A lot of talks. Kadjit already knows what this thing is. I actually don't. I don't know, and nor does Varen know what this thing is. All right, cool. Well, they say try to talk to it, so I guess I'm gonna wake this thing up and try to communicate with it.
Okay, so you swim up to this thing quietly, somehow fucking quietly, swim down and up to this thing, once again holding your breath to get here. Because you've swam down the rest of the tunnel's way and you're getting here, I first need, as you're kind of like approaching up to it and you're sitting there kind of like very close and in front of it, why don't you go ahead and roll me your first resilience check, 1 purple. But because you weren't able to fully properly catch your breath from beforehand, also 1 black die.
Cool. I'm going to use enhance. I'm not going to burn a string right now because I really don't have that many to burn anymore. So we'll just see
carefully, smoothly, gracefully. You know, Galeforge. You know what, Galeforge? Your criticism is justified. But still, go fuck yourself.
I was gonna say I don't know how you swim quietly.
All right, that is 2 successes and 3 advantage. I will take the 3 advantage. So 2 successes, and I'm going to heal 3 strain.
Okay.
Wait, you get to insult Scott.
Oh, Scott, you owe us so much experience for all of your side of tangents this round. I cannot believe the incompetence that you have shown this night after I set the boundaries at the beginning. On the 5-year anniversary, not even then can you listen to your PCs.
Wow,
He's
get
still
fucked.
going. Still going. I mean, that was
It was
terrible.
1,000 points. I had to use it.
It was.
I've
Alright.
insulted every other part of you at this point. Like, I'm running out of things to insult.
Yeah, I'm talking about booty. You want to talk about booty? Oh.
Or lack thereof. Not much to talk about.
Whoa. Whoa.
So, there you go.
Wait.
Another insult.
Wait, do you want me to go get some measurements?
I've seen you in person, Scott.
Oh.
My ass is bigger than your body.
Okay, you're just a big person, okay? You've got a couple inches on me. You've got like, I think it's 4 inches on me. Maybe 5.
I wasn't talking about dick size, Scott, but I appreciate it. Can we move on? Was that good enough? I hope that was good.
He
That
tore
was
Mathis
good.
asunder.
Wait, who has to be nice to the PM? Who's that for?
It's funny. All right, so we good? You
Yeah.
what are you gonna do to it?
I want to try to influence it and awaken it and talk to it. So I want to basically I want to use influence on it to tell it to wake up and communicate with me.
Are you gonna try to use the light side of the force?
Yeah.
You go right ahead.
This will be discipline v discipline. I will light side and downgrade you again. So 3 force on my side. That is a lot of light side.
Holy shit, light side.
It's an awful discipline roll, though.
That is an awful discipline roll. Okay. I get 1 downgrade.
Yep.
And it's the same discipline as the last creature, so I actually have a really good chance of winning this. So I'm probably not going to win this.
I think you can roll 2 successes, Scott. I have faith in you.
You did. Congrats.
Thank
You win.
Oh, wait, why did I have black dice on there?
I don't know. Do you want to reroll?
I have to reroll.
You want to call it an early night, Scott? Are we having a bad day today? Today's like the Monday.
If you guys want to do anything today, today's the day
So
to do
bad.
it.
Did you guys know it was
Oh my
Ella's birthday
God.
today?
What happened to Scott's rolling?
Scott, you want to?
Took my shit rolls.
Sky, you want to play some of the Dark Alliance today? You want to take a little bit of a break from TNT?
I think I need it. I'm sorry, but like, I almost killed 2 PCs on Monday. The only reason why I didn't was because of chat intervention. Like I literally, one of them was dead, but somebody fortune's favored to be spit out of where it was swallowed.
Guys, he's humble bragging again.
I had another one that once again, only because of temporary health points given to the same PC multiple times, I could have killed 2 out of 3 PCs this past Monday, but those 2 dead. The third one would have pooped himself.
5 XP.
I'm upset. Rita, you need to be nice to me and mean to me at the same time.
That is not her job. That's Brittany's job.
It says that right there, and Brittany already does that daily.
Oh, I might have broken my leg in the other campaign, but you're just rolling shit, bro. Sorry. All of your bosses busted. You can't. Even when Wade is completely naked, right? No armor, nothing.
Yeah, you can't even hurt Wade, man.
So I'm at my best.
Trying to. He can't. I mean, even at your best, he can't. He can't even make it.
He can't even hit you,
Scott. I'm sorry. I feel actually really bad.
Is that the be nice one?
It's really yeah. Yeah.
The
nice Rita's form nice is pity.
Slap him.
So
sorry.
You're something nice about Scott.
It's tough, isn't it?
You know, for a hobbit.
His feet aren't big enough.
It's funny because I'm actually taller than Messi.
I was gonna say you have very human proportioned feet.
And I have massive feet. It's so funny. I'll take it. You guys want to talk about how small my feet are? I will gladly live on the internet life with small feet. I will take it. That to me is like, one place where smallness works. Give it to me, baby. Want to say I have small ears too? I'll take that too.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, man.
Because it's definitely not these rules.
It's thinking about you saying nice things to me.
So this thing is probably awake and has to talk to me now.
Can't think of anything. Sorry.
So what do you say to it as you wake it up? Again, limited words because limited air.
Like at least one before me, I'm required to return with a piece of you.
The thing opens its eyes. As it opens its eyes, you can see that the eyes that it has on it are massive, lavender-colored eyes. They have a small inner glow to them. Not like the bioluminescence of the different plants around you or anything like that. This is much more faint. But it has a small inner glow to its lavender eyes. As the thing shifts and pushes itself up, so you can see the way it is. This subterranean creature that is, again, completely covered in carapace. Reminding you much like, again, real life, thinking kind of like a lobster or crab, like, right? You can see it has these 2 massive carapace-covered arms that end in these like almost sickle-like shapes. That you can see that it uses this as a way to almost like push or drag itself along the floor as it moves. It does have on its backside a bit of a fin. Again, think of like a lobster, so it can propel itself a bit of a distance if it needs to. But also in the same underbelly, between the big massive claws that it has and the underbelly, you can see growing out from there another 2 large tentacles growing out. These things, once again, look genuinely frightening as how big and thick they are, how much strength they must have, and the fact that they have this like deep blue color to them. Either way, as this creature kind of like opens up these massive lavender eyes and looks at you, you can become aware, unlike the other thing beforehand, which is of a base level of intelligence, just enough that you can kind of reach out to it to contact it. The other thing you've spoken to was probably about as smart as a dolphin, right? Maybe a hair above a dolphin, which is a pretty intelligent creature. What you're looking at now is a creature with far more intelligence. This is likely a truly sapiens creature that you have before you. So once again, you can see that the thing is there, and you say, like many creatures before me, blah, 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 blah.
Like at least one other before me.
But like at least one other before me. It does open its eyes, and it does bring to bear, and it looks at you. But it does not look like it's there to help you. It does not look like it's there to assist you. However, at the same time, it does not immediately attack you. You could actually feel almost like this creature itself is capable of using or contacting the force, manipulating the force in some degree, because you can feel it reaching out to you. And you can almost feel like you hear whispers in your mind as it responds back to you. And it says, you wish to take of me that is not yours. And you can see it kind of like shifts itself in a way that looks like it is ready to fight you. And this is clearly its home lair, whatever you want to call it. And it does not look like some pushover crab that on a Disney movie about to sing about the luminescence of objects and the like.
Sure. Varen will respond. I wish nothing of the sort, but that's what's been required of me.
As you're
He will
speaking,
he'll hold out the dagger and show him. And then he'll like kind of put it back like in his mouth or something non-threateningly.
no, I put
He'll
it in
show
my
him
mouth
like
non-threateningly.
Well, the idea is he wants to show him that like he wants him to know this is the same thing that happened with Revan or whoever before. He imagines he knows. Or it knows.
Scott, I just want to chime in and say that I love the way you sexually harass us as a cast. It's awesome.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Messi.
Hey, at least we get paid for.
That's when it'd be illegal.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Thank God we don't get paid.
To be fair, though, I'm so much worse to Patreon. I mean, think about Joey. Oh.
Side tangent, 5 XP.
Oh. All right. So, anyways, continuing the campaign. You say more or less like, yeah, sorry, I'm here to take a chunk of your body, but somebody asked me to do it. And the creature does not look very satisfied with this sad response that you gave it. So,
He's hoping, I guess what he's hoping is to open a dialogue about even the creature talking about is like Revan being here or understanding the relationship the Night Sisters have. He's trying to open a dialogue and let it say something back first. But if it's not willing to talk, he'll push the issue, I guess. But right now he's trying to open a dialogue and kind of like leave it room to speak.
why don't you
I'm also underwater, so I'm trying to keep my words down.
why don't you go ahead and make me a perception check against 1 purple, 0 black.
I'm not gonna light side. Are you gonna dark side? Okay. I'll burn a strain to upgrade to give myself a green.
How much strain you got left, boy?
Well, I just healed a few, so I'm at 12 of 20.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the force dice don't mean anything.
Okay.
So 1 success unless you
So,
want to reroll.
sorry, I was looking away. So recall additional information. So you can use that advantage for yourself, probably to regain a strain. And you notice that there's a teardrop. Looking at this creature and like how it's moving, and whatnot, you see a teardrop-shaped scales that are like right beneath its eyes. Start to turn from like the natural green color of most. Again, the tentacles are blue. The greenish color of the carapace there. These teardrop-shaped scales that are there starts to turn from green to red as you see it there.
Okay. I'm going to do discipline v discipline again. I'm going to try to influence it to tell it does not want to fight me. Nor I it.
Go ahead, try.
I will. 2 light side left. I'll use the light side. I'll downgrade you again. Strain and upgrade me.
It's kind of weird because this isn't a this is one of those scenarios where it's an opposed roll. Are we both allowed to use points in an opposed roll?
I don't know.
We actually discussed this not too long ago, and you said it was fine.
Yeah, because it's not like a 1-person check; it's a 2-person check, right?
Sure. Well, I'm downgrading you. Do you want to downgrade me or re-upgrade you with a dark side point?
I think I will equally downgrade you.
Okay. So I've got 1 upgrade, 1 downgrade on my side. You've got a downgrade on your side.
correct. All right.
Three,
So I have a
force
downgrade on my
die.
side. And this sucks.
Only one success again. There you go. You beat me that time.
Oh, thank God.
Congratulate chat. Can we get some
Here's a
big
night.
wins in chat for Scott? Just a big W. Big
Giant
win.
W.
Finally, it took us about, what is it? 2 hours for Scott to get his first success on us.
Unfortunately, that is not inaccurate. I
No, it's
really
not.
want alcohol, but we're in the middle of the session, so we can't leave to get it. Rena, can you
Wait,
get me a beer?
Remind me, alcohol talk on break.
Messy?
That's all.
Okay. Messy, can you get me a beer? You're closer than Rena.
Do you like whiskey?
Yes.
We'll talk. Break.
Okay. All right. So,
Side
Pat,
tangent, 5 experience.
wait, you tried to influence this thing to give you its like, I don't want to fight. I just need the da-da-da. And its response is that it moves forward a little bit and it actually opens up the mouth of it. Like part of its carapace, it opens up the mouth of it, and you can actually see the inside of this creature. So it opens up its mouth. It's a significantly softer tissue on the inside. The whole thing is, again, imagine like a crab, like a hard carapace all over. So as it opens up and you can see like inner muscle tissue or whatever that's inside there, it starts to spew out some sort of liquid that happens to be inside of it. It's just spewing out this strange liquid that you can tell because it's incredibly viscous compared to everything around it. As it spews out this liquid, I need you to go ahead and roll me a resilience check, I think it is.
Okay.
Oh, I'm on your character sheet by accident. I think to resist this stuff is resilience. Give me 1 second. It is. It's a resilience check, and it's going to be against 4 purple.
Okay. I'll use enhanced to upgrade my resilience. And I'll light side to downgrade your side because I don't want this shit to hit me. Burn a strain. Upgrade. All right, let's see if I'm going to start rolling shit now that the real thing's happening, or if I can turn things around still. So 3 purple, downgrade, upgrade, burn to strain, 3 dice.
I believe.
Be good to me. Do more successes or advantage matter on this?
No, you
If
just need
not-
success.
Okay, then I will. Can I just convert all that to advantage and heal some strain?
Or either that or set yourself up for some shit in the future, man. Like, look at what you can do with your advantages.
Identify a way to reduce difficulty of future checks against the same threat.
Or if you open up the chart off to the side. Like, perform a free maneuver. We should be like kind of like get a lot closer to it all of a sudden, right? Negate the enemy's defense bonus until the end of the round would be fucking useful. Ignoring environmental penalties.
Okay, I'm going to convert 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 light side into advantage. So there's 7 advantage. 2 successes, 7 advantage.
Jay, those are Rena's swords, so just be careful with them. She wants to make sure that you handle them well and put them back when you're done.
Okay, so I'm gonna use 1 advantage of the 7 to pass a blue
To yourself.
to whichever ally goes next,
Yeah.
which could be me. Can you do that and pass a blue specifically to yourself with 2 more?
It's the only way to give yourself more than 1 blue is to do the 1 and the 2 at the same time.
Okay, I'll do that.
He gives himself a
There's
layup.
3.
Right, alley-oops.
That leaves me with 4 advantage. I mean, healing strain's not a bad idea. I don't think I can make it drop something carried. It's not carrying anything. Adding defense is nice, but if I get attacked, I'm fucked no matter what, probably. Disable a piece of gear or disable an opponent. Ignore penalties. I don't really want to attack this thing, is the thing. I guess I will add a setback dice to you. So add a black to you. And then I'll heal 2 strain with the last 2.
Okay.
So you
give,
get a black
and
on
you
your
get two
next
blue.
check. On my next check.
So you get 2 blue.
Yes.
And what's that last thing? Did you do anything else, or was it just 2 blue and a black, and then strain?
2 blue is 3. A black is 2. 2 strain makes 7. That's all of them.
Okay, cool, done. Thank you. Awesome. So when it spewed out this thing, I mean, don't get me wrong, it got very close to you. It even started to brush against you, but you weren't completely engulfed in it. Not much of it touched you, and instantly you can start to feel strange. All of a sudden, as soon as it touched you, you can almost instantly feel it reacting as your skin absorbed even very small quantities of it, right? So you kind of like pull your arm back, and there's a quick moment where you start to feel your head swimming. You can feel it swimming. You can feel yourself kind of like looking about, and you can see things moving slightly hazy. You start to see stuff out of the corner of your eye that isn't there. Bright lights and colors start to appear in the backdrop, and things start to move. Shiny. No. Focus. Doesn't matter that Disney owns Star Wars. Tomatora is not here. You're able to resist it. Resist the hallucinations that this thing was about to put your.
I'm shocked you remember the crab's name. That's very impressive.
It's I have a daughter.
I just like Moana. Well, it was a great movie.
It's a great movie. She is one of my favorite Disney princesses. So either way, so you are able to resist the hallucinations that were going to hit you with this thing, and are able to kind of keep your mind about you. Now we're rolling for initiative.
Okay. Is this vigilance or cool?
That because this is cool, I think you're allowed to choose what you want, right? Is that how it
Technically,
works?
no, I don't think so. But if I thought I was pacifying it and it's coming after me, I guess that would be unexpected. I can make that argument, but I think it's usually because like I don't think I always get to choose.
I am. Well, you gonna roll?
Well, which based
sorry.
on that
Answer
information.
his question.
Sorry. If it's vigilance, it has to be vigilance. If it's cool, it has to be cool. I think somebody had talked about beforehand. You could choose which one. By maybe it was a special ability you were talking about.
Well, I can always use vigilance with an ability in Sentry.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so it is cool then, because you're aware of
Okay.
it.
Do my blue dice go on the initiative roll then?
No, it doesn't have to.
Okay.
I'll allow you to push it off to the next one if you'd like.
I guess that's same with the black dice then. I guess the black dice
Yeah,
wouldn't apply to that.
I'm gonna upgrade my skill. Oh, sorry, I upgraded the wrong side. I'm gonna upgrade my skill and go over to NPC roles. It's 2 different character sheets for me, and one of them likes to try to slip away. There we go. So upgrade and then roll it. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Chat. Can we talk about this for a second? Can we talk about the fact that
3 green just stomped on 3 yellow.
Can we talk about this? Oh, it happened fucking again? Can we talk about how Wade's luck is disgusting? All right, Wade, you get to go first. How do you want to
Wade,
handle
you're
this?
hot. You're so hot.
So this thing spews out some stuff and starts to come at Varen.
Do you try to do the same thing again, or?
Yeah, he's gonna try.
Influence.
There's no way this knife's not gonna fucking do shit to this thing. Now with some force behind him, he will say like, "No, you will not fight me."
Do you stick with the light side? Or you switch to the
Surrender
dark
what
side?
I see. It'll still be light side. Surrender what I seek, and I'll be gone.
And this is, of course, using up like a lot of air.
Yeah. Okay. Light side. I will downgrade you. I will strain to upgrade me. Are you gonna dark side re-upgrade you or downgrade me? You do have a black dice on this.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to. Hey, Molly, thanks for the sub.
Follow.
Yeah, I'm going to downgrade your free upgrade so you just suffer strain like a little beach.
Okay. You have a black dice, and you have a downgrade.
This is my discipline roll, right?
Discipline v discipline.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Force.
Would you want me to roll first?
Doesn't matter. That's a good roll.
I wish you luck, Scott. You came close.
You triumphed, but you failed. I don't think triumphs mean anything in this, do they?
Unfortunately, not in opposed rolls. It's a good tiebreaker.
Okay, well, I got 5 light side pips with
My
which to-
only success came from that triumph, by the way.
That's how my one was with the 2 triumphs. It was just 2 yellows. I feel that.
Anyways, let's keep going.
Okay.
So you say that, and the creature reaches out into your mind and says, I see. You have spent much time with the sisters. Very well. Take what it is, as many before have taken. And it actually will, with its large, again, like a sickle-like leg or arm or appendage, whatever it is, it reaches up, and as it opens its mouth, it actually cuts off a piece of like what would be more or less the inside of its cheek, like cuts off a chunk that for you would be about the size of a steak, right? But for it does not. I mean, sure, I'm sure it hurts, but it's not anywhere near as large as it is because of how massive this creature is compared to you. It's not proportionally anywhere near as big. So it's like a piece, like a decent sized steak, in front of a 5-ounce sirloin. It cuts off and it hands over to you. And then it one more time kind of like takes a deep breath and it exhales out a stream of this gooey material, same as it did before. But instead of kind of like coming at you in a way like, oh shit, it actually, though, you can trust it because you know that the force is influence. You know you've influenced this creature. When it spews the stuff at you, it actually spews in a funny way where it comes directly kind of like at your head. And it seems to be non-reactive. Like it's not hitting you with the hallucinations, but it definitely clamps around your like head, and you get a lot of it in your hair, like a lot of it in your hair, to the point where you get like almost like somebody put emptied a bottle of gel in your hair, then you dumped it in a swimming pool.
No, my perfectly dry underwater hair.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Either way, so you have that happen, and it says to you afterwards, return again, and next time I will feast on you.
I wish we'd been able to communicate under different circumstances. I feel great power in you. Then he'll turn to leave.
The thing watches you leave, and then like, as you leave the cave, it turns once again and allows itself to nestle back down into its deep, dark slumber that it usually resides in. I need a resilience check from you.
Sure.
This is you did one last time because of combat and everything. Once again, this is gonna be a 3 purple resilience check. And don't forget the black die.
All right. 3 purple and a black. I got the force pool from enhance. I'll burn a strain to upgrade. I'm not going to light side. Are you going to dark side me?
Yeah, because there's a chance for me to murder you.
Great. Upgrading your side or downgrading my side?
I'm going to upgrade my side. It'd be kind of cool if you got caught by something. Because you're naked, so if you got caught, something very specific had to be caught. God damn it.
I will do 2 advantages to cancel the threat.
All right. I understand. And you suck, and you start swimming all the way out. You eventually come out to the area to where that creature was before. They kind of like in the great beyond. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. This is going to be against a what is it? Because of where you are, give me a 2 purple perception check.
You dark siding?
Yes, I will dark side because it's fun.
Upgrade the difficulty again?
No, downgrade yours.
Cool. I was gonna burn a strain to upgrade mine, so I guess I'll upgrade and downgrade. I don't get my green. 2 purple perception.
God damn it. You notice that creature is swimming about again, but this time the influence on it has ended. Whatever it was you were able to do to influence it has ended.
It did upgrade. It added the green, then it downgraded one of the yellows.
Why?
That's what the upgrade downgrade did.
Oh, gotcha. Probably get upgrades first, then downgrades after.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't really done it much, so I was curious. That surprised me.
Yeah. I mean, I know it says it in the books, but like you said, we don't do it very often. So by the way, you see it swimming around, and the important thing about the perception check is it also acts like an insight, right? So one of the things you notice is it's swimming around. You see it swimming and it's prowling around, almost like it's looking for you, like it's lurking and waiting for you. And you can see this as you emerge from the tunnel, and he starts swim upwards, doing that whole let me get back to the surface, like Eric trying to get away from you look out and you see the thing, and you get the sense, oh boy, this thing is not happy with me at the moment.
Okay. I guess I need to do one more influence. I'm going to try to influence it to let me pass.
Sure. The thing starts moving quickly towards you as you go to influence it. So more or less, it's kind of like its action to approach you is the same as your action to influence it. We can roll initiative to see who actually get to attack first if you fail this. So, so more or less, it's moving. It's using its turn if initiative is mattered to come up to you. All right.
Does it have to roll to notice me since I'm going toward it?
No, it's an underwater creature. No, it sees you.
Oh, I'm an above ground creature. Does that mean I no longer have to use perception in the air?
It's different.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good ruling.
There you go. He gets it. Like sharks, they don't perceive. They just know. That's
I don't think that's true.
That's exactly how math works.
All right. So is this cooler vigilance on my behalf?
You don't need to roll it yet. Yet you're going to try to discipline it.
Okay. I will use the light side. I will downgrade you. I'll burn a strain to upgrade me.
God damn it.
Are you going to use a dark side since it's an opposed discipline check?
How many dark side do I have?
4.
4 now? I mean, 4 is pretty solid. So yeah, I'll use one just because of keeping the flow going. So once again, I'm going to downgrade you. Okay. And nobody black dice or anything like that, right? Okay. I'll roll first this time. I learned the trick. Roll first.
You're right. I did triumph, which doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, same as last time. Wait, you can't convert those into successes, right? Or you just needed the one to make it happen?
Nice.
Awesome. So now we actually have to roll for initiative.
Cool. Vigilance or cool?
You are aware. Sorry, vigilance would work on this one. I would allow you to roll whichever one you prefer. Yeah, so vigilance in this scenario. I am definitely going to dark side again, and to give myself an upgrade on this roll, I'm going to come over to this. Ooh, I upgrade on the wrong side. Again, I have to work with 2 character sheets to make it work. Give an upgrade over here, and for this creature here, my cool.
Wait, you're rolling your dark side in your initiative roll?
Yeah, I'm enhancing it.
Oh, I never knew we could do that.
And it gets to go first. So once again, it's sweet. It comes rushing at you as quickly as it can, and makes its way over towards you. As it makes its way towards you, I'm going to use my because I already moved up to you last time, which is what I had defined as you were getting the free attack. I can't say it was moving towards you. I'm going to use my maneuver to so it's going to aim at you, but by aim, what it realistically is doing is it's kind of like using one of its tentacles to almost feint against you, so it can attack at you with the other one. So I was giving myself a blue die.
Is it burning 2 strain to get into range? Because it had to get to me.
Yeah, it did. Remember how last turn how you got to influence it for as almost like a free action? Your action, what I was saying was, while it was moving towards you, you were influencing it, was what I had said.
Okay.
And I was like, but it won't matter unless you have to roll initiative, which we did. I am not going to dark side this one because I am a little bit underneath already. I just needed to be able to go first. So I'm going to give myself a blue die with, like I said, with the aim. Attacking you in melee is going to be 2 purple dice. And I make my
I will light side if you're not going to dark side. And I will upgrade the difficulty.
Oh, and 1 black die against you, right?
Yes.
Okay. I hate you.
Scott does not look very happy.
Okay, I was like,
Didn't
watch
really
this
do a
be
whole
the
lot.
first like, despair. All right, so that is 8 plus 3 is 11 points of damage, anti-critical hit. You're 11 because of your brawn. Reduces it to what?
To 8.
8 points of damage, and what else can you do? Can you parry it,
I
or do you not have
can
the strength for
parry.
it?
I can. Which would reduce it by another 4, which would make it 4 damage. I'm not going to, though. I'm just going to take the 8.
Okay, you're going to take the flat 8. Perfect. And I'm inflicting a critical hit, so you're going to have to go ahead and roll over there on me. It
Any offset?
has an offset of 20, so nothing too extreme. Even if you roll a natural 100, it won't kill you.
Okay. Offset's 20, then just roll.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Okay.
Wow, that was... Jesus. Ouchies. Ask somebody in chat to roll a d10 for you, sir.
Chat, roll a d10. Do not roll a 10. Who do I want to roll?
Me.
Lance.
Me. Oh.
Lance, you always roll.
Oh, not Jay. You did not
Definitely
say
not
Jay.
Jay. No, I did not say Jay.
Nope, not Jay.
Lance always rolls low, so I need Lance to roll low for me.
Wow.
A
It's
6.
true. Lance is like one of the worst rollers ever.
My brawn is down by 1, so there goes one of my soak.
That wasn't Lance's roll.
Nope.
Lance
it
didn't roll
wasn't.
the... oh, it was Wise one.
Yeah, he got... Okay, 6.
Lance rolled a 6, which is my brawn.
Same thing as before. So your brawn goes down by 1, which sucks in the scenario because you need brawn for melee attacks or whatever. But so just gotta remember that your brawn is usually 1 higher. And anyways, so your brawn goes down by 1 as you take the critical hit. You take all that damage, so on and so forth. But sir, it does not have you wrapped up. It comes at you and it hits you hard with the thing. Technically speaking, you can keep trying to swim, but I need from you a resilience check. This is, as we said last time, it was 3 purple and a black die. This time it's going to be 4 purple and a black die.
Okay.
Do I still have that?
Burn a strain to upgrade my side. I'll use the light side to downgrade on that side. I'm using the force. That makes my resilience worse. 2 light side to get rid of the threat.
And you succeed. So you succeeded. You can feel your lungs once again. Yeah, you hit the black die. You can feel once again your lungs are burning. You are in a lot of pain. You do not want to stay here much longer than you've already had to, right? So so clearly you're gonna get moving on, moving out of here as quickly as you can. It is your turn.
Influence to tell this thing not to fight me and to let me pass.
Okay.
Light side to downgrade you. I will burn a strain to upgrade me. Do you want to use a dark side to do one or the other again?
I think it just made it much bigger. Okay, that's how it worked. A dark side to make do it again. Where are we at? 5 and 2. Yeah, I'm gonna have to because it's 5 and 2. Because you have to keep the spice flowing, right?
Mhm.
And this is a scenario where it makes sense. So
Upgrading
yeah,
you or downgrading me?
I'm going to. You downgraded me, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to upgrade me to more or less do the upgrade downgrade scenario.
Oh, okay. I've got an upgrade on my side. You have a downgrade and an upgrade on your side.
Yep. I am about to roll. I just need to get rid of all my other checks. Okay, I had so many modifiers on there.
That's solid.
Jesus. Got me beat.
And I've got 4 light pips.
Okay. So you easily are able to tell the thing, leave me be. And all of a sudden it's like, and it stops. And it does. It leaves you alone. And then you kind of staring it down it for a couple extra seconds, making sure it knows who's alpha here. And then you swim the rest of the way, getting all the way to the top. Once you get to the top of the lake, you reach up to break through the lake, and all of a sudden you, boom, hit your head. A little bit of that air as your lungs are burning, starting to bubble out. I don't know if you saw the stream title for today, but literally the top of the lake is a layer of ice.
Cool. Can I break through it?
Yeah, absolutely. Breaking through ice is super easy to do.
Well, how'd you do it, Scott?
Me, I would drive a car into it.
And then you threw
Well, I
your
mean,
daughter
how
in?
thick is the ice? This thing had no ice before, so.
It did not have any ice before the all the force stuff happening down here. Correct.
Okay.
You want to try to brawn your way through? Maybe attack it with a dagger?
Well, I can try to influence the ice to have it melt.
Hey, baby. Want to get things hot in here?
If I can't physically break through, I have an idea of what I'll do.
Hey, baby. Throws child in ice lake.
I mean, I guess if I'm looking around, can I find a place that looks easier to break or a spot that's not frozen?
Perception check.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you go ahead, and it's not an easy thing to find. I'm gonna make it a 3 purple perception, as you're literally from underwater swimming around trying to find a weak spot.
I will light side and downgrade. I will burn a string that I'm running out of and upgrade my side. I need to be on skills, not combat.
Searching around for a little while, you're able to. I mean, you're able to maintain a degree of calm.
Can I take the advantage?
You should
What
get.
do I need? Will that help? I don't know. Would it help if I gave 3 is pretty good.
You're able to maintain a degree of calm, and you unfortunately cannot find any spot where the ice seeps thinner.
I love that that succeeded. Thank you.
Well, you successfully are able to identify. As opposed to you don't know. You know.
Okay. How far am I away from that creature that was attacking me?
What do you want to do with your advantage? It's 3 significant.
I told you I'd give it to you if there's something I can do that would be useful with it.
What I would tell you is this. If you want to give it to me for that, I would say that you're kind of able to identify once you get up here, even though the ice is there, it's too thick or whatnot, kind of like wiping away the ice for a moment with your warm hands, kind of cleaning it off so it becomes translucent. Looking out and seeing up above, you can kind of get a little degree of your bearings as to where you are. You know if you swim that way, it'll bring you back to the shore where you were. Maybe not exactly the right spot, but it'll bring you to the relative area of where you were on shore. But you're going to have to swim that way to be able to get there.
Okay, I'll start swimming that way.
Sure, so you're not worried about the creature anymore?
How far away was it from me?
I mean, you more or less, if it stayed exactly static, which it didn't, then it would have been a decent, like a swim back up from where it was. So maybe like a good 30-second swim directly upwards from where it was. So distance, maybe long range. Because again, you swim way slower than you walk or jog. Unless your mind helps.
I can't use strain to double move near. I've got no strain left. I'm going to try to make my way to the shore.
So you start swimming your way over towards the shore. Once again, your lungs are really burning. There's a lot. It's not a short swim back to the shore. You swam all the way out here a long time ago, so on and so forth. Searching around for, like I said before, originally made multiple dives at least to start figuring this place out. Then once you found out where things were, then you really dove in and kept going. So you
I'm not in combat, so I don't think I even have it. I don't know if I can sacrifice my action. We're not in combat. I'm just giving it my all to swimming.
It's combat-esque because time is of the essence, but not really. But you're fine. So you're just you double moving, kind of build into what you're doing because you're not doing anything else. So, anyways, making your way over there, I'm gonna have you go ahead and roll me one more. Hopefully only one more. Resilience check. This time it's gonna be against 4 purple. Wait, was last time 4 purple and you gave it a downgrade?
4 purple and a black, I think.
Okay. So this time it's gonna be against 5 purple and a black.
I think I'm gonna fail this no matter what I do, unless I
If
get
you
really
fail
lucky
it, that's
with
okay. You just start taking what is it, strain or damage?
It's strain damage, which I can't afford to take.
How much strain do you have on you?
I can take 2 before I'm at max.
Wow. And what does your meditation allow you to do?
Take 1 strain damage instead of 3 per round of suffocating.
Oh, okay, cool. So you can get 1 additional round. That's nice.
I'll use a light side downgrade. That brawn hurts. I was hoping it would be agility or intellect. That brawn hurts because that lowers my resilience. So I've got 2 green and a blue against 4 purple and a black. I can't really afford to burn a strain here, so I just have to roll with what I've got. If I take that as strain, I'm immediately dead, though.
Probably shouldn't have told him that.
Oh, I mean, that's the truth.
I'll give you a black, guys. The next thing you have to deal with. Oh wait, yeah. I disabled it because I forgot. Well, no, I didn't disable it. I forgot. I greatly increased the price of it, but reroll actually never went away. It's just the price of it went way up from where it was when it was during the Witcher campaign. And 10 minutes ago, VSword redeemed Wade. Want to reroll? That's literally what VSword wrote on there.
Is that a choice, or does that mean I need to?
You're welcome to.
I don't think so. I think I'd rather have the successes and a black dice.
I don't know.
The odds of me succeeding that roll is not high.
We're gonna keep this roll exactly as it is. We're taking this roll. I'm curious. Click it one more time, just so I can see how it plays out.
So what was it? 5 with a downgrade?
With the black dice.
I didn't roll. I might have to re-roll. I didn't use my enhance on that, Scott.
Oh, you definitely have to reroll then.
So I have to re-roll anyway. So this
Yeah.
is not your re-roll, V-Sword. I have to do this with the lights because I was enhancing.
Vsauce.
Did I say V-Sauce? V-Sword dancing.
Is Michael here?
V-sword.
I thought I said V-Sword. I don't
He
know.
said V-sword.
Okay, 1
Scott's
black,
just being weird.
5 purple, downgrade. I got my force pool. I can't burn a strain.
Do it, burn a strain. I think you could afford it.
Okay, do it. I can convert those to advantage.
The strains?
All fucking light side?
I did.
He
And there's
can
an
make that
extra one there
4
too.
successes. That's 4 successes and 0 strain.
So that's
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
I'm
4.
right,
That's
aren't I?
6. I can make it
That's-
3. So that's 6. So I can get rid of 3. Then I have 3. Yeah.
That's a better roll.
So there you go. 4 successes and 0 threat.
So
That's without the reroll. That reroll's still there. That was a free. Well, that was an accidental free reroll because I didn't use my force points.
wow.
Right,
Okay.
And I definitely would have. I cannot say that I would not have enhanced. I think I definitely meant to enhance.
With those extra 4 successes, you once again, with your lungs burning, you're in pain, able to continue pushing yourself on. At this point, there's no more rolling. You're just going to start taking strain damage once this check is done here. You've been going for what, 8 minutes or whatever it is, swimming around, 7 minutes, whatever it is, swimming around.
Well, I don't know, however long it
underwater.
takes to go up and down. I imagine on the way back up, I would have stopped and
baby.
gotten air at that one spot again.
There was no air left. You wouldn't have stopped there because you would have breathed through it. It would have been breathing fake air.
Okay.
Yeah. So I either way, you you are able to get all the way over to the shore. And once again, your lungs are burning. You can feel yourself you can feel darkness starting to come its way towards you. You're trying to hold on to every bit of your training that you had in your youth. Every bit of your Sith training, as confusing, as horrible as it was. It is what's keeping you alive. But at the same time, that part of that training is to give into the dark side of the Force. But you are fighting that temptation, and it's leading you even closer to the light side of the Force. Go ahead. Yes, carbon dioxide.
Go up. Bloop, bloop, bloop. There you go. There's my turn.
So you go, yeah. What I'm saying is you go up to it, and it's ice still.
Well, I guess I'm dead. I'm dead because you decided to freeze a lake in 10 minutes. I will try to take the dagger and cut my way through. I have nothing else I can fucking do unless I can use move to break ice. Can I use move to break ice?
Probably not. You'd have to have because the whole ice is probably size category like 7 or some shit if the whole lake is frozen. So yeah,
Is there something underwater I can use, like a boulder, something I can use to smash the ice?
I mean, there definitely would be rocks in the lake under the water that you might be able to use the Force to kind of like throw the boulder up to
That's going to be stronger than I am, especially with my brawn damage. So I'm going to try to use.
You can go over to the shore and just like dig away at the dirt, dig away so you can like.
Yeah, I'm not going to dig. I don't think I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to try to hurl something to break the ice.
Dig, bury me. No, I don't have a voice. So
okay. So this is just purely dice pool.
That was horribly off song.
That is 3 light side.
I don't have a voice. I had a voice in like a month and a half at this point. Sucks.
That's 3 light sides. So, that is the power. I can make it a silhouette object, and I can hurl it to do damage.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be all 3.
So
I don't know. Would silhouette be more important than just I guess that'd be a strength upgrade.
It's only gonna be like a silhouette 0 boulder. No, I'm just kidding. Because like it's a decent sized rock, you're kind of like searching around for. You see a boulder, you just kind of take the thing, you take the Force, and you throw up and you smash against the ice, and the ice abso-fucking-lutely cracks, but does not break.
Okay.
You have to do it again. Because remember, you're moving this thing up, but it's still a rock, so a big blunt object moving through water, so it moves much slower than it otherwise would.
With that extra pip, I can hit the ice with 2 silhouette ones.
Oh, that's good. Actually, that's really important. Because by taking that thing up, you're able to. It's gonna be like you're almost out of air every round. So the 2 things kind of like come swing up, smash and crack it, and then another one kind of like hits behind the other one and just sends it so the things come cracking through. So the ice sheets finally break away to the point where you can swim over to where they are. And
I will do that.
And remember, you probably could have just moved your lightsaber over and cut it open so much easier, but that's okay because this looks cool.
I don't know. Do I have to see it? I guess I don't have to see it.
No, because you didn't in the cockpit.
That's true.
Yeah. So, by the way, I thought that's why you were coming to the shore. So you're like, you're able to be in the ice where you're floating and kind of like holding on to it. It's one of those things where if you slipped, you're probably only at a spot where Varen is maybe like a foot above his head with the depth. Just kind of like trying to slip on the ice, but occasionally kind of falls back under. And kind of, it's very gracelessly trying to bob and stay above the water and trying to. I mean, his whole body is aching. Everything's on fire. He's gasping for air. Breathing hurts. Everything hurts. He's in pain. But look at his fucking strain. Everything about this situation sucks. And wounds. Everything about the situation absolutely sucks. And you can't forget that your influence over that creature doesn't seem to last very long. So as long as you remain in this water, this is a dangerous scenario.
I was going to either have it break through the water for me or throw it into the ice. If I went back to it.
So either way, I'm going to have you roll me a athletics or coordination check to try to like clamber up on the ice and get yourself over to the shore.
Okay. I will do coordination.
Just 2.
My brawn is
nothing
hurt.
Crazy. Oh, sorry. I actually not. I would say 1, but 2 black dice.
1, 2 black dice, coordination.
I am going to, just because strain at this point would be hilarious. I'm going to dark side this because you're not going to light side it.
Okay. I can use enhance though, so I get to do force dice.
Fuck you.
Are you upgrading the difficulty?
Yeah, absolutely I am. I wanted to spare. Now that you
Like
say
how this
that.
whole session has basically just been Wade versus Scott.
Yeah, there's been a
on-
1v1. I appreciate this
it's been me
private
losing.
session.
To me
Scott's
losing.
like, let's just do this real quick thing on Dathomir. It'll be like half a session. We'll move on. Also, Scott, here's the aquarium. Do you guys want to stop and see the hammerheads? And here's the whale sharks. And here's the...
I believe what I said was, Rena, you want to go first? And she said, nah, bro. I went to Panera Bread and got me a bowl of soup inside of some sour.
Actually,
I didn't need that much time to eat my soup, man. Like
I think Wade
I
and I
saw
rolled
the way
for
that
it.
you
He
eat
won,
soup.
so.
I figured you need a few napkins afterwards.
That's... let's call that 3 advantage. So 1 success, 1 advantage. I'm going to use the burn strain. Get rid of a strain.
She unmuted herself to respond, decided it wasn't worth it, and muted herself again. It was so funny.
I don't want to
was
interrupt
waiting.
anymore.
I was waiting. That was good. That was good, Rita. All right. So, you, sir, are able to coordinate yourself out there. You don't take the goddamn strain, obviously.
I know, because I converted to 3 to advantage.
Yeah, I know. And you make your way out and kind of like get out there and just like flop on the actual shoreline. Oh my god, it's so much warmer up here than it was down there because it was absolutely frozen. As you're lying there, kind of like your bones, your muscles, every part of you aching, your lungs are burning, your throat is burning, your lips are cracking and dry as you're just like gasping for breath, naked, uncomfortable, lying there with a chunk of this thing's flesh inside your hands, and one hand in the dagger and the other one, clenching onto both of them, trying to hold on for dear life. You barely notice as footsteps, the last couple steps, bring something to be next to you. Oh, you use your strength, kind of like look up and see what the hell it is. Kind of like, what the? And you look over to see that there's a night sister that is crouching down next to you. She has a clay bowl in her hands. And what she's doing, she's actually grabbing you by the base of your scalp, the base of like where your hair is by your scalp. And she's like picking up your head. I don't know if you would resist or pull away from it, or you just trying to hold your strength right now.
She's
At this
picking
point,
up your head, skateboard.
He knows if she wants to kill him, she probably could. He's too beat up. So honestly, he'll probably hold up the knife and the piece of flesh to show he's got them. And then like whatever she's doing, he'll just kind of like deal with it.
She runs her fingers at first to kind of, like through his hair to kind of like get it pulled together, so it almost makes like as if you're going to tie it up into a sad man bun. And then she runs a comb through it afterwards, and she actually starts collecting the gel out of your hair into this this basin, this like clay bowl that's there. She collects as much of it as possible using the comb to push it out, and then actually wrings with your hands your hair out, kind of like trying to get every last little bit out of the back of your head off and into the bowl. She'll then take a couple of moments sitting there with the bowl and plucking out any additional debris like your hair or a bit of seaweed, kelp, whatever it is, out of the bowl that's in there. After that, she'll grab the piece of meat that you have and she'll go over to the water and rinse it off in the water for a couple of seconds and then place it into the basin. That's when she'll look down at you and say, "Get dressed. You need to gather the sap of the tree."
Congrats, you now
Very
finished
well.
the side quest. There's another side quest.
All right.
Go ahead.
So taking the time to get dressed, is that the end of an encounter?
Not yet.
Of course not. Okay, yeah, I'll take my time getting dressed then, so that's the end of an encounter.
Okay.
He gets dressed.
And
You really extend these encounters just because of my ability.
she leads you over to into a grove, carrying the bowl with her, allowing you to. Of course, she doesn't like watch you or anything like that. She turns her back, allowing you to get your like. We're talking like nearby, like if you were getting dressed where I'm sitting, she was like standing like right where that table is. You know what I mean? Like with her back to you, giving you moments, to, like a minute or so, 2 minutes, whatever, to get dressed, kind of catch your breath with your lungs still burning, your knees still buckling, your body still aching. After you're kind of like done tying up your belt or whatever it is that you have on you, she looks back at you and says, "Let's go." And then she leads you to a grove off to the side, where once again into a special grouping of trees. You of course still have the knife in one hand and the saber tied at your hip. Unfortunately, the knife overbalances you and it counts as 3 encumbrance. So she leads you over to where this grouping of trees are. She'll then kind of walk through and say, "Finds the tree. When you're able to find it, collect its sap in this basin." She places the basin down on the ground, like just to the left of your feet. And then she turns and she's just walking off into the mist.
Okay. Baron imagines that this is something about this tree will stand out in the force, so he's going to try to reach out with the force to find something special here.
Same as before, you're going to be doing a sense. It's going to be a perception check for you, and it's going to be with 3 purple dice. I do also want to say that immediately when you sense, like last time, you get sense that once again the force here is even thicker than it is in the rest of Dathomir, which already has like a strong presence of the force in it. Same as it did at the ritual place that you were at beforehand. Same as it did at the lake when you were there beforehand.
Okay. I'm not going to light side this, nor can I really afford to burn strain right now. Dark side me?
I don't think I will use dark side on this. I still have other PCs I need to fuck with.
Really?
I think your main adversary right now is Wade.
Okay, well, I fail 3 light side pips for whatever that's worth for the sense.
Okay. So what it is you spend a considerable amount of time there trying to search and find out which tree you think is the right one. Unfortunately, the forces, at the very least up here, it seems to be having a hard time. You're having a hard time kind of reaching out to it. Maybe it's because you're more physically exhausted than you have been in a long while. Maybe it's because you're just so incredibly out of breath and whatnot. You are trying to gather your thoughts and everything. It's just you aren't able to pull it together. Perhaps using more mundane means would work, since reaching out to the force is not working for you at the moment. If you'd like, you can stand up. You can make another perception check for me. This time it's going to be with 2 purple and a red die.
Yeah, I have a much higher chance of succeeding now. Thanks, man.
You always seem to roll against red like nothing.
Watch 2 triumphs.
What do you want to do?
Knock myself out, apparently.
You do have the reroll.
I would say that you actually... Oh, you do have the reroll, but would you want to reroll that? You get 0 failures.
That's fine.
Okay. I would say you find the tree by finding the number of markings into the tree that suggests where the sap is. You're able to go over to that tree, and you kind of like slam the dagger into it with all of your might, stabbing it into the tree, and allowing the sap to slowly drip down the tip of the blade, down the dagger. Kind of collects down at the hilt or the crossguard of the blade, and starts to fall and drop off to the side. You can tell that the drops are coming so slow. You warily walk over. You grab the basin, the bowl. You bring it right underneath where it is, and you're able to collect that first drop just in time, like bloop, as it gets into there. You know the strip is going to be happening slowly, so you kind of like settle yourself down, sliding down, like back against the tree, sliding down to the base of it, and there you just slump over. It's too much. This is all too much. And you pass out. I'll get back to you shortly, Wade.
Cool.
Rena, you wanted to go talk to the doctor? Or did you want to take a quick break? Want to take a quick break and come back for the last hour?
Let's break.
Yeah, it gives you kind of like a moment to gather your thoughts and wait a moment to forget everything that just happened to him.
That was a long, fun, thing, though, to be fair. And it was mainly just Wade and, this big beast. But I mean, as a lot of rolling it was a lot of action of back and forth, and Wade just narrowly missing. I don't know, story-wise, it was fun to listen to. I don't know.
Yeah, so much fun failing. I love it. Feels like goddamn
Who likes
life.
to see
You're
the
just mad.
hero lose? I mean,
Other than your 3 boss fights, Scott, I ended up dying to a tree, so if that makes you feel any better.
Oh boy,
You're not even dead. You're just passed out.
We'll be right back, everybody. We'll be right back. sisters. All right, what about whiskey? Oh yeah, that's right. How was that? Cool. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So, is it blended or? Oh, that's not that's a mixed drink. Oh, not in the bottle. You can do it. Okay, gotcha. Is it blended or single malt? So is it blended in a black brandy? And what year is it? No, what year is made? Like, is it 10-year, 5-year, 12-year? So the way it works is when you say, let's say you're dealing with, I don't know, like what's that shit that everybody likes? Johnny Walker, right? Johnny Walker Blue, I think is 25 years or something like that. That just means that the oldest Scotch in the blend is 25 years, but the youngest Scotch could still be only like a 2-year Scotch or whatever it is, right? So because it's a blend of the oldest and a bunch of other ones to get the flavor that they want. I wonder if anybody around here sells that, like a shot of that, because I wouldn't want to invest a whole bottle if I'm not gonna drink it. You know what I mean? Not that honestly, it's more cost effective to just buy the bottle, but if I'm not gonna drink it, it's just gonna sit there. You know? You can't say how long it is. That sounds like you need to consult a doctor. All right, Rena, are you ready to get your RP on? All right. Let's do this. 5. Oh. Yeah. Oh, I wonder if I can get a nip. How do you spell it? So I have it looked up here. I just have to find somebody around here that sells it. Yeah, so it's probably over here. So I'll look for it. I'll see if I can get a nip. Yeah. No, you're good, man. You said that you ordered to mention, so like I said, I'll see if I can get a nip to try it before I buy a bottle. Nah, not for that. Yeah. All right, let's go in 5 and 4, 3, 2. Let's go. Oh, no, not that button. Damn it. That button. Let me do this. Here we go.
Apparently use sonic enhancement technology by playing Metallica music next to the barrel.
Yeah, I'm sure that really helps with the flavor.
Probably.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a bunch of malarkey to me.
Hey, everyone.
Oh, 8 years.
And to be fair,
8
Messi,
years, okay.
all the crap he threw, I don't think I could have gotten through that much faster than I did. I think I only failed like 2 rolls.
If you would have died, something cool would have happened.
Yeah, you guys would have had 3 party members.
Wade would have had Wednesdays off. What the heck?
Yeah. I'd have another day off in the week.
Wade before stream. Hey, Scott, can you just kill Varen here? Scott,
Can I die to a tree?
I'll give you 2 hours. I'll try to kill him.
Okay, cool. I see a couple places around here, including like right by my job, that sell it. So that's cool.
5 XP.
Try it. Let me know how you like it.
Wade, you're interrupting our conversation, so stop trying to go off topic.
Again, you're more of a whiskey drinker than I am, so you might be able to be like, nah, this is crap.
Oh, here's one right by my brother's house. Oh, and here's one right by my house. Okay, cool.
We're up to 3 minutes on conversation about whiskey, chat.
It's fine, Wade. It's fine.
I'm just saying I'm keeping track.
So I could absolutely find it. No problem around here. I just whether or not they got nips. That's what I want to do. All right. So yeah, let's get going. Rena, you wanted to go talk to the doctor.
Yes.
So
Wherever. Yeah, I'll just walk up to him wherever
he's
he
in
is
your
on the
ship.
Yeah.
So you walk up to him.
And then the whole time.
Oh, wait. The last thing that we were doing, though, we were just hovering above the planet.
No, I think we landed.
Nope, you
We
landed.
land?
Yep.
We
Yeah,
landed?
because I remember we
Okay,
met up
fine.
with Bato.
All right, well, then we land. Oh, we did talk to Bato for like a hot second.
Yeah, Bato's
He
with
was
us.
like, I don't know where Varen is. Like, oh shit, okay. Fine. When the ship lands, she'll find him and say, well, we've arrived, but not exactly in Mandalore.
He when you say that, he nods and says, "Do you still intend to go to Mandalore?"
Yes, we have every intention of going there. Just a bit of a pit stop, I suppose.
I generally make it my intention to otherwise stay out of your business.
I do have a question, though, and wondering if you'd be able to assist me in something.
Depends on the question.
How quickly are you able to sober someone up who has done an indiscernible amount of spice?
So this is a concern of yours. He's been using spice his entire journey.
Yes, I would say I'm quite concerned.
Were you not aware that he had used spice prior?
I was aware. It has been quite a bit of time since he's done so.
Very well. I could see if I could help him. There's a couple of counter reagents you can use. It will bring on a bit of a harsh come down. There's a couple of medicines that can be given to him to make it so if he ever tries to use spice in the future, his body will have a volatile and none so pleasant reaction. It acts as a bit of a deterrent. As long as you keep him on a regiment of those medicines, which I don't have on me, it would deter him from using spice in the future, as it generally is very painful or overall incredibly uncomfortable. But there is no negative effect of using the deterrent medication.
I
At
simply
least not
need
in the
him.
short term.
I simply need him to be functional for this particular mission.
So you only want him to be functional for the convenience of now.
The immediate problem doesn't necessarily need a long-term result, as it is not mine to decide.
He nods, says, calculated response, and stands up because he's talking to a droid, you know. He stands up, reaches over, gets his bag, puts it onto the chair that he was just sitting in, like folds the chair back out and puts it on the chair he was just sitting in. And he spends about a minute or so kind of like messing with a few things. And he says, I assume he's not going to work with you.
No,
Oh, yeah.
it's unlikely.
Put this into an ejector. starts mixing with it and whatnot. Eventually, he'll kind of hand to you what looks like a stim pack kind of injector, and he says, "This is something is most effective when taken orally, but if you just inject it straight into the bloodstream, it'll get the job done."
Thank you.
His solution to get Messi off drugs is to give him more drugs.
No, well,
son.
he's giving a counter. So
Right, it's a different drug to make his drugs.
Yeah.
How it works in the real world.
Well, it's like in the real world,
I
you
know.
use things like Suboxone to counter like opioids and whatnot.
I know.
So,
I just find it funny and ironic as well.
It is a little ironic.
Yeah. But
To get you off of these drugs, you need to take more drugs. A stronger drug.
yes.
You ever heard the tragedy of Pilot Gill? He was so intoxicated.
He went blind from it once.
That's the real reason.
A spice or an explosion? She'll take the injector. I suppose.
He's blinded by the spice.
You know what you could do instead if you'd like? We could just give him acupuncture. Acupuncture could solve the problem for him. Send him a couple of
That'd take
needles.
too long.
A great idea. Don't do it, please.
She just stabs him a bunch of times with a vibro spear. I must remove him. Must remove him. And he's like, "How'd you know I was Kyle?" Anyways, so you're able to go into where he is, which it's the cockpit, or is it his
Actually,
bedroom?
isn't he locked in his room?
That's right. He's locked in his room. Rena, he's locked in his room. You know, with a computer lock that you designed.
It's funny.
Hey.
You made it.
What the hell?
So needless to say, you have the override code.
She'd give him the courtesy of at least knocking. Give him a chance.
You gonna knock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's pretty good. I should roll against something though.
You're very coordinated in knowing that there's knocking at the door.
Is that you falling off the bunk or whatever?
What the fuck? This sucks.
That's the way the dice have kind of been for Scott tonight, too.
Why did you roll with a yellow or not a yellow, like 3 purple dice and a black dice?
Well, the black dice is because I'm on drugs, and the 3 purples because I'm trying to hide whatever I have left.
You're
in a
really
new
bad
spot.
at hiding your stuff.
Yeah, I didn't do a good job. So yeah, when you walk in, he's
Just spice
shoving stuff
everywhere.
under his mattress. Hi. I thought I locked that. What's
You know,
up?
I constructed most of the ship myself. Never mind. We need to get moving to find Varen and Bato soon.
Okay. You'll get up and like stretch and walk towards the door.
Which she's
Which
blocking.
way do we go?
Well, we'll find them. But I need to know if you're going to be functional for this.
Yeah, I'm feeling great.
I'm sure you are.
That's how it works. We take the ship or
I'm afraid we'll have to go by foot.
oh, okay. And then he'll bend down and start tying his shoes in the doorway, waiting for you to get out of the way.
Damn. You're just making it easy. Are you sure you wouldn't want to find a way to sober up?
Not if we're walking.
Who says I'm sober?
And if we run into trouble?
We'll be okay. I'll take my blaster.
Who says we're running? I'm gonna walk.
Any other questions, lady, before we go? You want to ask? If not, I've finished tying my shoes.
I'm just wondering if
It was really hard.
you're going to work with me on this or if I'm going to have no choice.
I mean, I've only got a few hours left. It'll be all right. How far is the walk?
Okay, all right. So she's just gonna stab him with the thing.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Sorry.
That's fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, what
Are you gonna
happens to me?
stealth it, or are you just gonna walk up and?
He's standing right in front of me.
That's what I'm saying. Are you gonna do it
Yeah, he
stealthily
stood
or
back up.
like?
Yeah. I guess she'd probably put like one hand on one of his shoulders to like
You're gonna
distract him,
stealth
and then
inject
stab
me?
it on the other side. Not like super stealthy though. She's just gonna do it.
He's tripping. I don't think he'll
Yeah,
stop
just
you.
let him pass by you, and then whenever he's got his back to you.
Then do it in the back. That seems worse.
That's what I thought you were gonna
There's
do.
a chance I won't feel it. Anyway, all right. So what happens when you inject it into me? What's the effects immediately, Scott?
At first you're like, ow. You're
Okay.
gonna inject it with something. But then a couple of seconds
the
pass,
fuck
and
was
you
that,
start to
lady?
feel like your haziness starts to fade away, and your wonderful, enjoyable high starts to fade away, and then you start to get like the shivers and all the fun aspects of coming down from it hard, like sobering you up instantly, and you have the full withdrawal, not withdrawal, the come down.
Thanks, Rena. Okay. All right. So in the scene, then, you inject him with it, and he goes, "Ow!" And he looks at what you did, and he looks back at you. And he just goes, "Oh no!" And then he like tenses up, and he's like, "Oh God, okay." And he'll turn around and he'll walk back into his room and lay in bed.
Wow,
He's shivering in bed.
I can't believe it. A session where Messi's character doesn't do anything. You can't possibly be on Lost Initiative.
It's
okay.
I imagine
Next
it's not gonna
section.
take long, but we don't have much time anyway. She just say, "I'm sorry, Gil," and then leave.
All right, I'm waiting it out.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna try to track down, like where Bato
Then I gave you coordinates.
is. Yeah, didn't you? I don't know if I had
I did.
looked into that or not.
Don't know. I know I did give you coordinates.
Okay. So in relation to where our ship is, where are his coordinates, Scott? Like how far away?
I would like you to take a moment and read what Ashen just said in chat, please.
He's not gonna take more. I mean, I guess. Listen, she's not the smartest droid.
Well, let me see. Let me see.
That seems like a bad idea. If he takes more right now, it would be bad with all this shit in his system.
What would you
Poor
say?
L4D7 has never had to deal with addiction before.
What
never
would you
had to cope
say
with.
is
This is the
the
first
skill
experience.
I should roll to resist the urge to take more drugs?
All right, discipline.
Okay. And what would you say would be the difficulty of resisting?
Oh, that's up to you, boyo.
All right.
You feel like absolute trash right now.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty high up there. I'm gonna try this.
There's 2 purples and a red.
I did. Oh, I did 1 purple and 2 reds.
I'll do 2 purples and a red. I think that'd be fair.
All right, but I'm adding a black. But okay, I'm adding a black because I was literally just holding them like a minute ago. So, okay.
Holding them, dude. You're still covered in it.
I'm wearing them.
Yeah.
Resilience?
Oh,
No.
You look like you were
covered
just-
by the spice.
Discipline.
You look like you were
Discipline.
baking recently.
I tied entirely.
Wow.
Okay,
Roll
maybe
failed.
just one line. He just like dipped his finger in it.
That technically means fail.
Technically, is a failure.
Okay. Yeah. So he'll do a little bit. It's just a small amount to make the side effects go away of the reagent. I don't know if it works though.
Well, something
Just a
bad that's
bump.
going to happen because you've got nice little
Yeah, I
booster to
imagine
make you
something
not
bad
want to
would
do it.
happen.
Yeah, so it's not just enough to make the side effects go away. It enhances the side effects and makes it absolutely terrible.
All right. So
Yeah,
you guys
it's one of
actually-
those things where you go from being uncomfortable and so on and so forth to your stomach is turning and you're about to have massive shits. You get the shivers, like you just brought on full on, like, oh, okay, now I just came down crashing hard. Now you're crashing hard and having like full blown like withdrawal-esque symptoms and whatnot. Like it's not a pleasant experience.
I think I'll just die in this bed then. Thanks.
Well, great. It was nice having you as a PC. I'm glad we got to have lots of fun interactions and get to see your skills as a pilot.
Tyler has been asking to join.
I know, and I feel like I've been hogging up all the screen time, so I'd like to.
That's true. You really have been. Might as well blaster yourself in the kneecaps and elbows and make sure you can't do anything, like ever.
Somehow it'll
Milk
still
the
revolve around
sausage,
me.
drink its juice, cult of the nuggets.
Milk the sausage, drink its juice. Apparently, this is some shit that Wade and I said on a Phasmophobia stream, I think. And for some reason, my community is just stuck with it. I don't know why or when Wade and I said this. I had that thing Wade and I do often, like, I said that? I don't remember saying that. Like, I wouldn't have said something like that. No, not me. You were with Wade. Okay, now it's plausible we probably did say something like that. I still have no encounter of it.
Okay. Milk the sausage, drink its juice.
I
Messi,
want
could
to
you
point
get on
out
that?
something real quick that Rena's done more stabbing today than Varen did with the ritual knife.
I know. Well,
What can I say?
you wanted just the tip. She went for the whole thing.
Yeah, that's a
Mark.
point.
Sorry, I
You
didn't
were
do
trying to
anything
take
for
something
so
she
long
was
that I
leaving
just
behind.
I went crazy. Sorry.
I approve.
Contain yourself.
Someone's got to make
Had
Messi
to
play
stab
eventually.
somebody.
All right. So,
Anyway.
anyways, Rita, did you do anything else with the doctor or this whole scenario?
I mean, she might ask, like, how long is that one injection meant to last?
I'll be feeling terrible for a little while, maybe an hour, 2 at most. But then it'll start to come down. As long as it doesn't take any more spice, things will subside pretty quickly. If he decides to take more spice, however, things are going to get exasperated. He'll be in absolute trash condition for a few days.
All
Swear to God, you guys set this
she'll-
up. You and Messi talk off stream and plan out how we can not have him ever play.
No, we didn't. No.
Not you, Scott and Messi.
Oh.
My DMs are clean.
She's gonna grab like whatever, like I assume that I probably have some stuff in storage or like a box or something, some can, something to put all of the drugs in essentially. And she's gonna go back and collect it all.
So you're going to go back
After he
into his
says that.
room and he's going to be
Yeah.
like, ah.
that's fine.
Are you going to be able to notice that he just did more drugs?
Probably pretty obvious.
maybe.
Shouldn't he be like foaming at the mouth with spice?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
You should tell him. You should make sure he knows not to take more spice. Before you forget.
He should look like he's just
Not
been
that he's
trying to
gonna
bake a
listen.
cake, right? I mean, just powder all over him.
Oh wait.
Like
You don't see
Sorry.
shit.
he meant to put
Wait,
cinnamon
why?
sugar on his bread,
did it
but
do that?
accidentally. Why did it do what? That's legit.
You rolled perception against nothing, so but you rolled 2 nothings on your dice, so you failed.
How?
By the way, it's
Oh.
the first time I've ever seen that.
You failed.
Great.
Against nothing.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Okay.
Against yourself, I guess.
Distracted, I suppose. Fine. I'll
Okay.
just gather whatever I can find, which I saw him putting it underneath the mattress anyway. And I just will
Throw
check
his
the
ass
rest of
back on the
room.
floor, then grab it.
Yeah, probably. Probably could. Do I have to like do like a investigation here?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You just rolled a perception. You found all of it totally. So, anyways, Rita, flash forward a day, and he is still absolute trash. This kind of answers your question. It's like literally the next day, like the next morning, and he's like, I'm in the shit box, whatever it's called, and he's just in there and
Dying.
feels like trash.
Okay, well,
Rena, get that Twi'lek. Tell her to shoot me in the head this time.
You can
Who's
search his
Rena?
room again while he's on the toilet.
And you're sitting there. My apologies. Rena does not compute. Who is this Rena that you're asking for?
it's L4. Okay, I mean, I guess all I can do is check again. I need to either that or I'm gonna leave him by himself.
So now that he's inside of the shitter shitting, I imagine you go in there, you go searching for the spice. This time you spend a considerable amount of time. I mean, you already saw where it was before, right? You did? Yeah, so you're able to kind of collect it all. And have it all stored away while he's in there. He's going to be locked up in there for like 2 hours or so. So you just go and figure it out. Anything you want to do with this Rena after he comes out of that bathroom?
Once I've collected it all,
Mm-hmm.
destroy it.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Do you want to get
Why
like
not?
Bato involved?
Spice.
That or maybe or I mean, not that this seems useful for any other kinds of
Why doesn't Lady
medication,
try it?
like on the go. What? She's a droid. She physically cannot.
You don't know that.
Into
No,
my
no,
back
no,
pocket.
it would just be like against it.
I will vacuum up all the spice.
Just
You
pours
imagine,
it
like,
on her head.
There's like powder everywhere. She pulls her hand away. It's like a
yes.
handprint of
Is
spice.
this a smoke or a snort or what is this?
She has no idea.
No one knows how to take spice? Jesus.
I doubt it
No,
would
no,
be
no,
useful.
it's up to Messi.
Considers.
Whatever he wants to use. Let's wait for him to answer.
Oh,
How do you take it?
I was assuming
Suppository?
via the nasal cavity.
he just snorts it. Damn.
That's so metal.
It's funny too, because he's always thinking it's a suppository. The doctor looks at it and he says, "You realize this is a chewable."
Tastes better this way.
That's so gross. Jesus.
Oh,
All right, well, we don't
Awesome.
need them. So I'll try to round up every last bit of spice that I can find on the ship. And
You'll give it to the
yeah,
local
I mean, if I
wildlife.
can find Bato, if Bato's here or whatever.
yeah. You and Bato have easy communication.
Oh, okay. Ooh, but do I tell him? Mhm.
Bato, I got some spice for you.
Are you gonna
spice.
give me spice? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm not gonna give it to you.
Well, yeah,
it's like I said,
it's like when the doctor gives you medications after like a surgery or whatever, and you're done using them, but you don't like you have extras left over. Like obviously, you call your friend to find out the
No.
correct legal way to dispose of them, and then you do that.
It's spice. We're on Dathomir. Who gives a shit? Let me just burn it.
Go offer it to the witches. You want to get high?
Peace offering. Please let us leave.
Tell me where Revan is. You get some spice, bitches.
And Varen too, for that matter.
It'll take you out of this world.
This shit is whack.
He's like, oh my god.
This shit hits differently.
This is more powerful than the dark side.
I've dubbed it
Shit.
the bright side.
Okay, we're gonna
The only
destroy the
way.
spice. Damn it.
You probably just like dump it outside
Why
on
is
the
it so-
ground.
Yeah, honestly, it's just
Give it to
like
Rico.
Rico will not have it.
Give it to Rico.
Isn't Rico laying there with like no arms or legs? It's just like laying there like
Well, yeah, I
That's-
promised
and
I'd kill
me.
It'll be
him.
reprogrammed.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
also extremely suicidal all of a sudden.
Well, yeah, I guess he doesn't. He lost his friend. Anyway, Scott, I'm gonna destroy the spice.
He didn't lose
I'm
it.
taking it off the ship to do
He didn't
so.
lose his friend. His friend exploded in a ship. He knows
Okay,
exactly
cool.
what happened to his friend.
Yeah. Just trying to
Plus, Rico
Snorting
blew up-
cinnamon spice, and everyone else is just being narcs.
Just throw it out the window. Oh, in space. Yeah, that's a good idea.
And she rolls
We're
down the
landed right
window.
now.
Everybody's like, ah! And she like tosses it out there, rolls the
I
window
finally
back
have
up.
this device from Revan I've been seeking.
Oh shit.
Awesome. We'll go back to Wade.
Spice is dumped.
Since Messy's going to take a couple days to recover from that as opposed to having some more RP.
Why is it every time Messi has to play, he's out of commission for
Fast
a
forward.
couple days?
That's up to
Every
him, man.
time.
He chose to do it.
Yeah, stop taking
Messi gets in
drugs.
combat, out for a couple days because he
We all
got
spend time with
shot
our
in the
experience. We get our experience points and we go over our skill trees to figure out how to level up. He gets experience points. He's like, what do I do with my character to not have to do anything next session? Drug addiction.
He spends points on drug addiction. I'm not
Better
addicted enough.
Better up my
Yeah,
discipline
that was the best
so
50
I
ever
know.
dropped.
He lowers his willpower. He's like, oh, dedication. I'm going to take away a skill point.
Believe it or not, I actually leveled up my vigilance before last week.
That's the first time I ever saw a 1 on a 69. That's pretty cool. Now, can somebody get 69 on 69?
That's the second one, actually, Scott. There
Oh,
was another
second?
one on.
Oh, was
There's
there?
a one on 69 earlier.
I'm waiting. Like, I almost want to play a game. You know, when you're like driving long drives, you try to like go up the ABCs on like license plates. I want to see if we could just go up like every. Okay, we found a 1. Now I gotta get the 2 next. Found a 2, all the way up. All right. Anyways, let's keep going. Found a 69 along the way. All right. So back to you, Wade. You eventually. So you're lying there, for an amount of time. But while you're lying there in your unconsciousness, of course, the force is very prevalent in the space where you are. So as you're lying there sleeping unconscious, it starts trying to reach into you to connect with you, because this isn't the time where you went to sleep or meditated or whatever it is under your own volition, right? You are inundated, right? Inundated, right? Like you are knocked out from just sheer exhaustion. And so it finds its way creeping into your mind, into your dreams. When you have your dreams, you can actually see yourself standing amongst the trees in the forest of Dathomir. You have the fog and everything that's always around you. You can have that like dense, thick red fog around you as it always is. Kind of like billowing about. But as you're like standing there, you can hear cries and whatnot happening off in the distance. You can hear it sounds like there's a battlefield coming from one of your sides. Is this something that your character would approach, or something that he would kind of like keep back from? And I should point out that he at this point in time does not know that he's dreaming.
He'd be curious enough to investigate.
As he starts making his way over to where the noise is coming from, he actually sees that there is a considerable amount of battling that's happening. You see that there's tribes fighting each other. A tribe of male warriors fighting against another tribe of male warriors. After spending a couple of extra moments, maybe a minute or so, watching this whole thing takes place, you realize that one of these sides is a little bit different from the other one. One of the two tribes seems to have a couple of the Night Sisters amongst them. A couple of Night Sisters guiding them, pushing them on, driving them to fight the other ones. And they're fighting against each other brutally, smashing into one another. The Night Sisters using their magics, their illusions, to manipulate the battlefields, but the others still able to kind of like hold up and resist them for a period of time. Do you continue watching to see how this whole thing plays out, or do you choose to interact or just leave?
He would keep watching. Honestly, he'd probably pay more attention to the Night Sisters and what they're doing, just try to figure out how they manipulate the Force.
They're utilizing their Force-given powers, their magics as they call them, to conjure up images of things that are clearly false, or to manipulate or mess with the minds of those that are on the battlefield. Somebody who's just climbed up to an advantageous position, a hill, a cliffside, I should say, where they're going to be able to hold off others that would also like to take this hill because of the positioning that allows them to release, say, ranged attacks on his own allies. Makes it a crucial point for this one warrior to hold. This one warrior clearly showing skill in the battlefield and clearly having positioning and whatnot that would allow them to hold off maybe 3 or even potentially 4 to 1, keeping them at bay. Then one Night Sister whispers something while bending her hands and weaving the force to manipulate the mind of that person, who instead of continuing to battle, they just kind of like go from fighting and holding back the others to just kind of stopping and just holding their arms by their in front of their chest, taking a step back, and then throwing themselves off of the cliffside as they kind of like drop down below. You see them manipulating the battlefield in many different ways, sending a pack of what looks to be, and again, far as you understand it, as a person in the modern day, wolves charging across the battlefield to go and attack a bunch of people, and seeing them kind of like recoil and duck and hide from them and try to push back at these wolves that are tearing into them. But the wolves are just a distraction. They're literally an illusion, not even harming them, despite how their minds may be perceiving it. Instead, a good bit behind, we're talking like a good solid 20 seconds behind where the wolves approached them and got them to like fall on their backs. You see other warriors coming up and just kind of like stabbing at them with whatever weapons they have on hand, killing the warriors that are there. You're seeing this whole violence thing transpire. It gives you a very strong sense as to why it is that everywhere around here seems to feel so densely set with the dark side. The dark side is quite prevalent here. Even watching the way that these Night Sisters are guiding or pushing the warriors on, this is not a symbiotic relationship. They are driving them in ways that show clear disrespect to who the other ones are, that show clear power dynamic between the two of them. It is concerning to say the least. But nonetheless, as much as you watch this, as much as you see this happening, the Night Sisters, they never seem to have rage or fear or any of those telltale signs of someone who's slipping and losing control while manipulating and using the dark side. You can see that every action they take, everything that they do, it's calculated, it's chosen, and they take it. There might be emotion, but not to the extremes that you've always been taught and that you've always understood, that you've always experienced when it comes to the dark side. Anyways, you witness this going on for a period of time before eventually you starts to wake up, to rise yourself from sleep. When you rise up, you're kind of like looking about, kind of coming to, and you can see once again, you're still sitting at the base of the tree in the forest. You blink a few times, hard blinks. You try to go and rub out your eye because of how tired you are. But you realize, oh, my hand is restrained. Taking a couple moments to look down, you can see around your wrists are roots of the tree. Actually, not just your wrists. It also seems like the roots have started to cover up one of your legs as well. And it's not like this thing's moving particularly quickly. Even if this thing was moving constantly, you must have been out for a couple hours for how much of you these roots have kind of like looped around or held on to. You seem to be being restrained by the tree itself. Maybe somebody else used the force to do this. Like, swamp weavers, right? Or swamp benders. Is that what they were called? Swamp benders? Yes, no? Specialized earth benders and Last Airbender? No? Okay.
That was that movie everyone really liked, right?
Moving on, I guess. So either way, either that's what happened, or the tree itself moves. Mudbenders, thank you. Or the tree itself moves. But you can feel your wrists, your arms and wrists are being restrained by these roots.
Okay. What's my strain look like?
It's same.
20 out of 20?
19 out of 20, enough for you to wake up.
We all know that blood bending is the actual cool art of blending. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to
metal bending
move.
was sexy as fluff.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're gonna move?
I'm going to use move to try to ignite my lightsaber and then use it to cut the roots away.
Okay. Go ahead.
3 light side pips.
Okay, so
That'd be the fine manipulation, then one to move it, one to, I guess, try to cut.
Catch it, and then to cut away the other spots to make it happen. Can you go ahead and make me a lightsaber check? But because you're making this fine manipulation with your mind, you can't usually use this in combat, so don't think that you can, okay? Go ahead and make me a lightsaber attack roll, but it's going to be against, because it's engaged, but because you're tied up, 2 red. There's a reason for this.
2 red and 2 purple, or just 2 purple?
Just 2 red. So it's more or less 2 purple, but upgraded, I should say. You're going to modify this?
Yeah, I'll use the light side to downgrade because I also have 2 blacks on my lightsaber. I can't use a strain, so...
I'm kind of hoping he forgot about that.
I guess I pass back out, but I do it.
So you're able to ignore that. You're able to easily. I'll say you burn yourself. You cut yourself a bit, right? So you just leave marks on your arms or wrists or whatever. You're able to successfully cut through the roots. The thing is, these roots, that are here around you, when the lightsaber hits it, it doesn't immediately cut through. It actually hits it, and you see it like burning and slowly starting to cut through it. Kind of like you were cutting through, like, say, what are they called? Like one of those storm breach door things or whatever in on like a ship. What do they call those things?
A tarp.
A door.
Oh boy. Thanks, guys.
Welcome.
So like you try to cut through one of those, and it slowly burns through, and it's the blast doors. Thank you. It's the heat of the saber that's trying to cut through this thing that literally burns your skin in the area and leaves marks and whatnot on you as you do this. Try to cut through. Either way, it does cut through, and you are able to stand yourself up. You can see that the thing is no longer dripping. Like there's one last drop still right at the very base or hilt of the blade that's there, but otherwise it stops dripping into the basin. The basin at this point in time is about halfway full, which is likely all it is that you need.
Okay. I would remove the dagger, kind of like rub the last drop into it, pick the thing up, and try to walk back.
Okay. You flick it or whatever it is, pull the thing out, you pick up the basin, and you start walking back to them. You have to try to find out where the hell they are. Survival check or sense check, sir. Sense is perception. Survival is for like footsteps.
What's the difficulty?
For which one?
Sense perception.
So sense is going to
technically sense is just a roll. It's not really a perception check.
No, I know, but you're trying to parse through where the force is so heavy. So it's gonna be 2 purple.
Okay. I'm not gonna light side this. Are you gonna dark side it?
Yeah, for fun.
Upgrade the difficulty or downgrade me?
Upgrade difficulty. Can never get a goddamn. That's all right. I still gave you two failures, so you fail. You meander about for a while, trying to find out where this is. The force is trying to pull you to a location. You have 1 pip that allows sense to work, but not enough to truly allow you to be guided to where it is that you need to go. Taking those 3 advantages, instead of finding your way back to the Night Sisters, what you end up finding your way up to is a different clearing. You end up walking up to, that's Pride's ship.
I guess I've got my full stuff back on, so I'll just reach out via comm since I'm right here.
Good.
Gil? Lady? That you?
Varen? Been trying to reach you for a few days.
I'm at your ship. Though I did not mean to end up here.
I'll open the door. Hang on a moment.
Otto would not hear this, right? Scott's not even here.
I don't think so, because he's
No,
doing it
because
for
he-
just
yeah,
the
he's on
ship.
his
This is local comms, right? Not over.
I could comment. Yeah, whatever. All right.
I don't know if you would find that to be important right now.
Probably not. She would just open the
It's not that big of a deal.
loading dock to get Varen onto the ship first, just to see how he is.
Mhm.
So she does so, and then she'll meet you at the entrance.
I can't stay long. I must deliver this.
Deliver what? As she looks down at like whatever you're holding.
Sap from a special tree. The Night Sisters. I believe it's part of a ritual.
Did you and Bato mean to come here?
No. Did you?
No. I was simply following the coordinates that Bato had given me.
The Force brought us here, and I'm trying to figure out why. The knowledge I pursue, not of who captured us, but of Revan. There's something here, and I'm close. I'm
Where's-
not well, but I have to hold on.
What do you mean? She'll walk towards you. Do you need a stim pack?
Perhaps. Probably more.
You'll see him kind of like probably hobbling a bit. I don't know if it would make sense for like a broken ribs or something to be the cause of like the reason his brawn is like the critical injury.
Sure.
I imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would
I-
definitely reduce your strength.
Yeah. So I imagine he's kind of like hunched over. He's like clutching a dagger in one hand to his like chest, holding the bowl. But he's probably like slightly stumbling around a little bit. And even through having everything covered, you can tell he's not feeling very well.
Can I help you onto the ship?
I'm
That's
not sure I
not
have time.
You're going to head out in this condition?
A stim pack might be enough to get me through. It'll have to be.
I imagine Bato doesn't know of your current state.
No. The last I saw Bato was after I disposed of a large Zabrek. That
Well,
was before the lake. I have much to tell, but I can't talk about it all right now.
all right.
I'm not sure if there's a time limit on this before it hardens or spoils.
Well, at least let me get a stim pack.
Thank you.
I'll go back onto the ship and get something.
She goes and collects a stim pack.
From the box or just
and
like
the
a loose
doctor,
one?
if he would accompany me.
Why would he accompany you?
Doctor?
She'd probably ask.
Yeah, I was gonna say I went to get a stim pack and the doctor if he'd accompany me.
So he'd step out. He'd walk out there.
He seems to be unwell. I'm not sure in what way though.
Well, you've had the shit kicked out of you.
Yes.
Walks over to you, places one hand, like because it's just like the way you're slouching there, he can't fucking see you. So he walks over to you. He immediately places one hand like up in underneath your helmet and touching your skin, like trying to get your pulse from your neck. Go ahead.
I'm fine enough to finish my task.
You've suffered from hypothermia today.
I spent a considerable amount of time underwater, and then the water, I don't remember it being cold when I entered, but it was frozen over by the time I had to smash my way through the ice. I believe something where things are broken. Ribs. Something.
You need to come in. lie down. Rest for a few days.
After this is done, I will.
If you don't do that now, you could do permanent damage to yourself. We don't have my tank anymore.
I can't afford to pass up this opportunity.
You have
The
two
force will have to
options.
sustain me.
He kind of chuckles as you say that. Yeah, I've heard that more than once. He looks over to L4 and says, "You said you had a stim pack?"
She nods, hands it to him.
Okay. He goes and he hits you with a stim pack. You feel
At
better.
That 5 wounds.
Yes.
Is this one of the box stim packs?
Rita said she went to go get a stim pack and the doctor. She provided the stim pack and the doctor.
We have loose ones, I think. So is this one of the ones from the box or one of the ones that were loose?
That's a fun question. We should have it rolled.
Imagine it's one of the ones in the box.
I don't know.
Chat, what do you think? I think if she knows the box is refillable, I think there's a solid 75% chances from the box, but it's 25% chances.
And we think the box is clean.
Correct.
But what was closer? The box or the other ones?
Probably equally, I'd imagine.
Yeah, exactly. It's negligible. So let's say 75% chance. Wade, choose the 25 numbers out of 100 that aren't the box.
I was just gonna say roll a d20. 15 or higher is good. Anything less than 15.
Be 16 to 20 would be the.
16,
So
20?
you want a d20 instead? All right, Pat. Choose
I don't know.
somebody in
It's
chat.
not my roll. It's Rena's that went to go get it.
Pat, choose somebody in chat to roll.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, it's Rena was the one that went to go get it. I'm
Rena,
sitting on the
you
ship
choose somebody in
completely
chat.
fine. I didn't fuck
Okay.
this up. I don't
D20,
wanna
guys.
I will choose. You said above 16 is good?
Oh,
No, it's 75. Well, yeah, technically 16 to 20 would be good. 1 to 15 would be the one from the box.
Hey, wait, I rolled your age.
Rosin.
Thanks, man.
Wait,
That make you
Rosin's the
50?
one that sent us here.
Yeah.
Buzz is
I'm
also the
gonna
one that
put it
poisoned
on
the
rosin.
box.
All right, Rosin. Yeah, D20.
20,
Just
yeah.
exclamation point roll is fine.
Or d20.
Whatever you want.
Shows a d6.
One of the good ones.
16. Let's
Motherfucker,
go.
Rosin.
Nice.
Go.
About time you did something good for us after what you did sending us here. So thank you.
Oh, you heal 5, Wade.
I already did.
Rena, you subtract one of those good ones.
That was as fair as we
Okay.
could have possibly made it. That was nuts.
Yeah.
Next time there's an
GG.
80% chance. Or
Honestly, it
85%.
probably would have been better if we discovered that these were bad.
Yeah, the doctor would have been like, these aren't stim packs. Instead, anyways, so you go, oh, as you get hit with like narcotics, but like pain relievers and adrenaline and stuff like that. So like a spot of coffee in there too. You know, the grounds. Anyways, so you wake up.
I may need your help
5, Chelsea.
after this is done. But for now, I must go.
Yeah, to even take Bato or even myself with you.
Not for this.
Well, good luck, I suppose.
Thank you.
Don't forget your chowder.
With that, he'll turn and go look for the sisters again.
Picks up his bowl of chowder and his crab soup, and goes heading back towards them. You eventually are able to find your way over to the sisters and the area where they are by finding your way back to the lake and kind of like moving from there. Excuse me. When you go walking into where the sisters are, one sister is waiting for you, but shortly after, others will join. But for the one sister that's waiting for you there, you go walking up, and they look at you and how exhausted you are, and they say, "You've made it. Congratulations."
Varen will actually take off his mask I provided the flesh of the creature, and here is the sap.
Yes. The sleeper, its flesh has the minerals that you need, but you also need the water from within it and the tree sap for the ritual that makes the water of life. It's an old ritual of ours, one that's not many men are strong enough to achieve. You are tenacious or foolish.
He won't say anything.
Bring the basin over here, she says, gesturing to the table. And then this is where you see the other Night Sisters coming in. This is where they guide you through the ritual, where they literally kind of like light a little bit of a fire and they boil the flesh of the creature inside the other liquids that you have there. And you boil it down till the flesh of the creature becomes just like one solid, like thicker liquid. And then that boiled liquid, they allow it to cool down a bit. And then once again, you go through the ritual with them. They guide you through as best as possible. When you've completed the ritual, you're able to take the substance, and it awakens something different inside you. You can feel something shift. You can feel literally how your interaction with the Force and the Force's interaction with you changes forevermore in a way that I will define more mechanically next week, because I'm going to talk to Wade about it. But you can feel that forevermore it is shifting and modifying the way that you're able to interact with each other. That your connection to Dathomir is far stronger than it ever was. But also, more importantly, you get a vision. The Force is speaking so directly to you, you can get a vision. You're able to see a room. The Night Sister that has been guiding you this entire while. I think you wrote her name down last week. You can see her inside of a room. She's reaching into a cabinet, meandering through, grabbing something for herself. But as your camera angle of you kind of like seeing in this vision, as you see her grabbing something to remove from the cabinet she's in, there's something just beneath her wrist, sitting there in the cabinet. A triangular shaped box that looks all too familiar. She grabs what she was looking for and closes the cabinet, leaving that image burned into your mind. You eventually wake up from the ritual, once again feeling this connection altered, changed everything. I don't think there's any lines you wanted to say. If you wanted to say any last few lines, you're welcome to do so, Wade.
This ritual. How many outsiders have taken it?
She says very, very few. But in the background, all you're able to hear is, milk the sausage, drink its juice. Milk the sausage, drink its juice. Milk the sausage, drink its juice. Milk the sausage, drink its juice.
Love the immersion.
Sorry. Anyways.
He's not sorry. He's not.
You have a holocron.
She says, a what?
An artifact. The shape of it, was it a Sith holocron? Is that the shape?
Yeah. Triangle, right? Yeah, pyramid, yeah.
This is a pyramid-esque shape, right?
Pyramid. A device. A Sith device that holds information. May I see it? Examine it.
Oh. The Force must be speaking to you. I do, in fact, have this thing that you are discussing. I had taken it. I had taken it from Revan while he was going through his own challenge. I've never been able to figure it out.
As payment for what you've done for me, I can try to help you unlock it, and we can see what it holds.
She thinks for a long bit, and then she nods. And with that, we'll end the session. Next week, obviously, we'll open up with them unlocking the holocron and getting the fuck off of Dathomir. Hopefully to never return unless they explicitly choose to come back.
Oh, you mean chat again?
Do you hear that, Rosin?
All right. Well, thanks for the solo session. I appreciate it.
Hey,
I'm sorry that everyone else couldn't make it this week, but maybe they'll be back next week.
That's right. It's my 5-year anniversary now, isn't it?
Congrats.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Happy 5 years.
I mean, the first session wasn't actually a campaign. Like, it wasn't like a session 1 or the session 0s or anything like that. It was meet the DM. It was Mike literally just kind of like one-on-one chatting with me. So I suppose this was kind of in line with that. And then next week would have been the actual like session 1 of, what was the original series called? Edge of Morality.
I was going to say Edge of Glory, but that's a Lady Gaga song.
I'm on the edge of glory. Or is that the one?
That sounds right.
Those are the words I said.
Is that Gaga?
I don't know. I don't
And
listen
I'm
to Lady
holding
Gaga.
it right here with you. Sounds like a 60s song.
It is Lady Gaga.
Okay. Yeah. Oh boy, I'm tired.
Hi, Tired.
Hi,
I'm
Tired.
Patrick.
Hi, Patrick.
I got you, Messy.
You got me messy. Ugh, it's because I drank the juice.
This is the weirdest thing, man. I had a messy roll today where I did absolutely nothing.
You actually did less than messy.
Yeah, no, Messy did more than I did.
Yeah, it took some
I don't
drugs.
even.
Well, I'm really glad we rolled all of our successful navigation astrogation checks that we could go to Mandalore to do some stuff with your clan. And
How
we
long
got
has
the
it
success to do
been
that.
since I got here?
Several, a few days.
They were 6 days behind us, and they're here
No,
now.
they got here quicker than 6 days.
Okay, well, 3 or 4 days, but yes.
Because the trip to here is shorter than the trip to Mandalore. Mandalore is notoriously off of a hyper route. Hyperspace
I don't
route.
know, man. We succeeded some rolls that didn't really, look. Our rolls are like whose lines it anyway points. Who knows? We rolled, but the points don't matter. So
You're right.
It's been like a day and a half.
But we're all still funny.
You guys are on 10 XP this session, so.
I'll kill you.
Wait, you have to find me, but I'm so small, you can't find me.
Scott,
He admitted it. Clip it. Clip it. Clip it. He admitted it.
Scott, I want to make the case for Wade here real quick. We did take 50 experience points away from him at the beginning of the session. I feel like that whole session was just him, so I think we should give him 60 back. What do you think?
So he gets a net gain of
about 10. Yeah.
yeah, okay, cool. I agree with that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if I factor in all of the times that we had distracted, that's about 70 more. So I'll take 80
Hey,
experience
speaking
points.
of distracted, wait, what's the name of your podcast?
Oh, it's
Kings,
called
right?
25 XP in the bank. And
Oh.
it's coming to you in the next couple of years. 25 XP in the bank. My new D&D podcast. Thank you.